Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth, the truth. You have to go back to the roots, the roots. Go to the roots, to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Subscribe now.
I remember the days, all those years ago that never fade away. And I remember your face when you hit the ground. I can recall the time and place on a midnight walk through the old streets, trying to turn back the clock to the days of old, back to the days when all the things we knew were made of gold. As the world moves on, time sings a song. In the old neighborhood, as the clock strikes one, the memory.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Afridamus Report. I'm your host, Afridamus. I want to welcome all of you to today's edition of the Afridamus Report. Please make sure you hit the like if you haven't already done so, and subscribe to the channel. Don't just watch. Hit that like button so that people can come in. And I want to welcome all of the viewers in-house right now. Let me see in the chat room who's here. Welcome in Bala Musa. He said the hardcore of fruitcakes from the AA world. Bala, welcome. Shalom. JQ, he said, I cuss out at least one Black Hebrew every day. It's my medicine. And we got the first Negro in the house, LA Wilkes. LA Wilkes, welcome. This is Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, today the topic, as you can see, is from the Taba tribe. And you ask, who are the Tabas? The anything but African tribe. Because you see, there's a segment of Negroes, subculture. So I'm speaking to most of you who don't understand. Why is this African talking about some Negroes in America? Here's why. I am a cultural anthropologist. So everybody comes to Africa, they claim, oh, we're here to study these natives. But little did I know, America, if you want to learn about all kinds of culture, whether crazy or not, because most of them are crazy, mind you. Because, you know, like in Africa, those of you Africans that are watching, so, you know, you don't want people to even join your culture. You cannot just join someone's culture. But in America, we have a segment of people, they're Black, like you, your skin. So they operate according to skin color. So one time I'm at the store. I was new in America, you know, because, you know, the Blacks, they like to emphasize the brother thing, right? And these Hebrews, I saw them at the time in Brooklyn back in the days in New York. So I was like, wow, these people look like, you know, some like Power Rangers, like some characters I've seen in movies. Mind you, I'm just coming from Africa. I have never seen people, you know, dressed up like that, standing in the corner and just yelling out stuff like just yelling obscenities at white people, just saying stuff. It was strange to me. I was like, my goodness, what in the world is going on here? I said, I know these people, they said they have freedom of speech, but what is this? But little did I know, I did not realize I am part of this game. I didn't know that this game that is being played, I am part of it. I am just not aware. And you, the African, too, you are part of the game. You are just not aware. You just think you're watching a movie. So today I'm going to break down their mindset for you. I went in because you know how you go to the store, you knew in America, some black man is like, hey brother, you're like, oh no, I'm not your brother, because you are all timid, you know, because you are thinking, you're confused, you're thinking, oh, he really think you are his actual brother, because people go around saying that. That's how they say hello. So when you say no, I'm not your brother, so that there's no confusion, literally say, no, I'm not Black American, they get really upset at that. But if you also say you're Black American, they get upset at that as well. So you cannot win. So I am going to help explain this to you, how you can navigate this. And also, now it's difficult for us Africans to even escape this, because with the internet, and also they are now coming to Africa. So there's no escape route. So I might as well help you, be acquainted with what you are seeing. So the Taba tribe, the anything but African tribe, they would claim being Indians. You guys remember we did that here too, right? This other segment are claiming to be Hebrews. Yes, you heard it. You know, Moses parting the Red Sea. Yes, that story for those of you that went to Sunday school. Yes, so those biblical people, those stories, there is Negroes in America who are claiming that story is about them. So I started realizing that's why they dress like the characters from those books. So they really believe this. But now, not only are they believing this, they want you, the African, to go along, because they are now claiming some of our tribes to be one of them. In the past, they used to reject Africans. They say, no, the Africans sold us. Like, as far as they are concerned, they were like a different species. It's not that Africans traded other Africans. It is they were separate, and these Africans, they are not African, came and grabbed the Hebrews and sold them to the white man. That's the story. But let me greet you with the pretendians here for a minute.
Let's talk about
doing
this.
your DNA testing,
Pretendians.
Right? And I'm still waiting for the pretendians to get their DNA. All my I ain't from Africa people, you have not taken the DNA test. I want to know why. All you pretendians, why are you not taking the DNA test? If you don't come from Africa, why can't you take the DNA test so we can know that you came from Mexico or California?
Right. Thank you, Dr. Umar, for taking us through that. So, ladies and gentlemen, you guys remember this picture that you see behind me is the leader of the Hebrew Israelites. So the Hebrew Israelites, they're saying that, now they want to move into Africa. So there's an interview that happened on King Ganda's show. I think the interview is very interesting because, the King Ganda is O'Shea Duke Jackson's channel. Shout out to him. He said he's the Repart podcast. But this interview is very, very interesting because these things that were being said on the streets of America is now, like the hood is now global. It's not only through rap music. Now they are on the internet. Not only there, they have changed their promised land. The promised land is now Africa again. So this is why this conversation is very, very important. And Africans, we have too many issues as it is. Too many issues. We already have the Arab Islamic religion there. We have Christianity. Many are still even confused about those two. So now we have these new ones too, the Hebrew Israelites, who in the past they did not accept, being African. They still are not accepting it. They want to be in Israel. I have an interview from their leader. I'm going to show you, give you a little background on what this movement is all about. When did it start? Is it a religion? Who started it? Was it a prophet? Or are these people, the same books that they are criticizing, the same white people they are criticizing? They are bringing those white people's information to us. So what makes you think what you are telling us, you're reading another book, interpreting it, you are smarter than everyone else? But they did say they believe they are God's chosen people. They are God's chosen people. So let me play this interview here. Give me a moment. I'm going to play an interview by one of their leaders. And you guys would recognize this leader. Go Black to Africa interviewed him when that demolition happened. I want you guys to pay attention to what he is saying. And all this year of return thing, you Africans, you would understand like what is going on. You're just looking at, the outer part, but there is a whole another conspiracy around this Back to Africa movement, because we have Negroes who said they are Hebrews. They are from the promised land. So they are trying to convince us that Israel is part of Africa. Fine. Okay, let's say it's part of Africa. Tunisia, no confusion, it's in Africa. Last time, didn't you guys see Tunisians kicking out, Black Africans? They're right there. So that doesn't mean anything. Just because you are in Africa or part of the tectonic plate doesn't make you an African. But these people are not, they are refusing to claim that, being African. They are only doing it when it's convenient. And I will prove that to you. These people went and formed a settlement in Israel amongst the, white European Jews. So you have to understand, you have to look at a pattern with all these quote unquote movements. They claim to hate white people, but they are looking to be in close proximity to white people. Because if you are from Israel, you are a Jew, what's that have to do with us in West Africa? People, help me here. I have never once heard anyone say to me growing up, hey, come here, little Damus. Back then I was Damus. Africa came later. Hey, here, little Damus, we was Jews back then. They sat me in the class, with my little kufi. They're like, we one of the Jews, the people in the book, Moses and them Negroes, we are them. But now, fine, if we are the people in those books, what does that prove, really? So it's a battle of, whose God is what. So here, let me do my fair use disclaimer and play this quick interview and then we would go to the actual interview from King Ganda. All right, let me load this video up here. So here goes the Hebrew, their leader. You recognize this face from previous interview. Let's listen to him.
Hello and welcome.
Thank you, Emily. Well, you're welcome.
I'm very happy to be here. It's been a long time coming, and happy anniversary. I mean, 50 years is a very big deal, a milestone for the community here in Dimona.
That's true. We're glad to have you with us to share in that joy. 50 years is a milestone. This is our Jubilee year.
What is that piece, that glue that holds everybody together here so long in the middle of the desert?
Well, it's our spirituality. It's our connection to the land and its people via those spiritual principles and elements that are so often overlooked. We're not religious, we're spiritual. There's a huge difference.
So they're not religious, they're spiritual. So, if he's saying he's Hebrew, he does look like one of the Hebrews there in the Middle East. So yeah, you can choose to be part of that group, but 1 minute you are Hebrew and another minute you are African too. So they are trying to bring us Africans into Hebrew drama. This is what I'm trying to point out to you. They are trying to bring us into, these ancient, stories. The characters, they are trying to revive them and trying to bring us into this. They are taking this too far. I have seen white people do, one of those Viking war enactments, but they take the costumes out. They just doing the enactments and, at the park, and then everybody goes home. They don't stay in the character. Like the man is not thinking he's William Wallace for sure, you see? But these people really think they are those people in the book. But here we go.
And for us, spirituality is a 24/7 proposition. So everything that we do, whether it's the meal we eat, it's how we exercise, it's what we teach our children, it's how we treat our spouses. We could go on for hours talking about the lifestyle that we've embodied here. And it's all been basically informed by our in-depth look at this.
Look, he might be black, but he's not African. That's for damn sure.
Scriptures from the Hebraic understanding and being able to extract those principles and apply it then in this little.
You're staying true to Bereshit, Genesis, the Garden of Eden. So explain that in your words.
Well, in understanding Genesis, in Bereshit, you'll find that from chapter 3 on, humanity is in fall, is in decline, is in degeneration. And so the latter laws that Moses did give us after.
So you guys see Moses right here. So now you understand the beef, right? The beef is, why do they gotta make, why is Moses light skinned here? They, they are pissed off that they are black. So you see Moses right here. So according to the book, Moses, he's some sort of light skin. But truly, who really cares? But this means a lot to these people, because in America, race, some people are obsessed with race. Everything revolves around race.
They're coming out of a captivity in ancient Egypt, where it said we could eat this animal, don't eat that.
So you see, so the slaves were white. So, so these Hebrews are destroying their own, but this man is showing his people. But how did we Africans come into this?
That animal, don't touch that animal. Those were good laws in the context of the times. But if we were to go back to the beginning and to the ideal diet that man was given for our calibration, you go back to Genesis 1:29. I've given you every herb bearing seed. And so it's a plant-based diet. And so it's very simple. And we've made that a foundation. Since our arrival here in 1969, we have been vegans.
Sounds like that's real science.
So you see, since back in they went to Israel in 1969. But let's find out before Israel where they went and the type of story they are they're selling. I'm telling you, would also see everybody. You guys think it's just the white people media using propaganda against Africa? No. Wait till you hear what he says at some point.
Scientific proof of a vegan diet actually being healthful.
When you look at the health record here, cases in which in America, those of African ancestry who lived in America, they were quote unquote genetically predisposed to certain diseases. And what we've shown is that that's not true. That actually it's more what science calls epigenetic. It's your environment, it's your lifestyle, it's your thought patterns, it's the music you listen to, it's everything.
Explain about the vision from the original leader, founder of this community, Ben Israel. He had a vision from the angel Gabriel in the late 60s.
1966.
All right. Did you guys hear this? So their leader, so I guess he's like, he received message from angel Gabriel, the same angel that came to Prophet Muhammad. So to me, look, guys, think about this YouTube age that we are in here. Let me propose this. Because, you know, the Muslims say angel Gabriel stopped bringing information. But in 1968, these Hebrews are saying that Gabriel brought information to them. And if a Gabriel is listening to this, because he's an angel, he should be able to listen to all of this. Can you imagine if angel Gabriel sets up a YouTube channel and just clears this whole mess that we are dealing with today? So you mean to tell me angel Gabriel cannot set up a YouTube channel so he can help us clear all this, so people don't keep running around talking about we are the chosen people? So the guy, he's like a Joseph Smith, you know, for the Mormons, right? He also, you know, in the 1800s, people came, and the angel came to him too in the 1800s. So let's hear this. This is wild.
Was that vision, and how did it get everybody here?
Well, Ben was raised in a family where his parents taught him that he was an Israelite. And
so his parents taught him that he was an Israelite, right? Let's continue.
He didn't really, you know, practice the idea until he became an older, in his later teens, and then he began to inquire. And he worked with an elder brother who gave him the foundation of the teachings that had survived the entire journey from 70 in this land when we were dispersed into the more southernmost areas of Africa, into the western coast.
So they are Hebrews, now they're talking about Africa.
And the Middle Passage, taking many of us into the Americas and coming through the era of chattel slavery. Well, we used to sing about these lands, the River Jordan. We sang about this land, and that actually predates missionary activity. It's not something we learned. We didn't learn about the Bible from missionaries. It actually was something that we had already innate in us as a part of our oral traditions and oral narratives. And I can document all of that. But
so these stories, it's not from the book, even though you would clearly see that these Hebrew Israelites, as they always standing in the corner, you know, reading a book. Somebody, if it was innate, why do they need the book, guys? But one will be standing there. Anything you ask them, you could be like, hey, what's your phone number? It'll be like, chapter 3, 5. Can you look at that up? You're like, damn, like what's going on? Like you can't just answer the question without this man, you know, yelling something from a book. So it's not innate. What is innate in them is to open that book and yell out the stuff in it and interpret it the way they see it fit. That is the truth. Oh, thank you, Zongo and Born to be Free. Oh yeah, I reached the 3K mark. I told you guys, slowly but surely, we would get there. We would get there. All right, here we go.
Ben came from that heritage, and so it didn't. His vision in 1966 didn't occur in a vacuum. But laying on his bed, troubled, because in 1966 you had the Watts riot, you had Newark, and these things were the civil rights era was beginning to bubble and foment the rebellion that the 60s were all about. And so, laying on his bed, troubled, he's visited by the angel Gabriel, who instructs him that the Exodus would occur in the following year.
So he was visited by angel Gabriel. You guys heard it. You guys heard it. So now, most of, West Africa is Muslim and Christians. So all these religions were visited by angel Gabriel. So did angel Gabriel say all that other information is now canceled out? Like what's going on? But yeah, I guess angel Gabriel showed up again. Here we go.
And that he was given instructions to lead that. He wrestled with the idea momentarily, because you're wary of sharing that with others because you might get laughed at or whatever. But he shared it with his close circle, and he found that they supported and brought other bits and pieces of prophetic information. And
guys, didn't you guys hear this type of stories before? If anybody remember Jim Jones, all those cult leaders, they all tell you the same story. They all got this inspiration from an angel. So that's where the faith came from. Let's see how us Africans, became a part of this information here.
And pointed us in a direction that we should go in. To one of the scriptures said we should return the same way that we left. So we looked in West Africa, where there in Liberia's constitution required that they open their doors and receive us. It was a period of pain and of suffering, of struggle, malaria, dysentery, literal malnutrition.
Guys, can you think about this? He said they went to Liberia. They suffered malnutrition, dysentery in the 70s. In the 70s, Liberia's economy was amongst the best in West Africa, booming. The American-Liberian government was in charge, things were running. So how did these people claim they came to Liberia? They are telling the story of how these missionaries used to tell stories about the 1800s about Africa. Oh, we went to, Okavango swamp. We got eaten by a lion. We got chased by, giant-sized mosquitoes. But this is 70s. Liberia's economy was the best at the time. Go look it up. They were, advanced. They had things in place. This is before the war. So, but you notice the propaganda. They have to tell that story so that they can have refugee status in Israel. It
hit us. And so out of the nearly 400 that went, only 138 were still there in 1969 when we made the journey to Israel and completed the circle.
Explain the importance of the destruction of the temple in 70 AD and the group that went south, and why.
Sure.
Where the judgment was that led to that, according to your beliefs.
Okay. Well, by the time of the Roman occupation, you had already gone through. We had already gone through.
So if they are from Israel, why come to Liberia, then go to Israel, or come to Ghana and then go to Israel? Just go straight to where you came from. But these people have put their stories together. Wait till you hear why he's going to explain, why they had to come to Africa to get to Israel.
Numerous captivities. And so when you look at the Roman occupation, that was simply a very violent and physical destruction. And when that occurred, the destruction of the temple, the smashing of the Hebraic idea, the hiding of the scrolls down at Qumran, etc., we went into exile. Now, logically, if you have a military power, an oppressive military power coming from the north, it wouldn't make good common sense to flee to the north. And so our position is that many, if not most, of the Israelites that remain, and particularly Judah, went south. We migrated down both banks of the Red Sea. We migrated down the Nile River.
So guys, watch this, right? The Red Sea is here. So that would mean they came from around here. Israel. That's a big distance. There's many places between this place and Ghana. I mean, West Africa, right? But let's see, why they didn't go to Ethiopia, but they went to Ghana.
River, we might have raided across North Africa and then down into the southern areas, into what is now called the Western Coast. And so when you look in Ghana, for example, you
guys, isn't this convenient? They just somehow walk themselves, I mean, that was a hell of a journey. No wonder, Moses was lost for 40 years with the Israelites. Now everything is beginning to make sense. Yeah, that's a pretty long journey. But they made their way to Ghana and Nigeria. So guys, you understand the technique here, right? You see how they are building the connection to try to pull Africans into this religious mess they are creating. So let him explain to us how they got here.
You will find that the Ashanti, the Ewe, the Yoruba, and Igbo in Nigeria, present-day Nigeria, that all of these different.
So you see this? So the Ashanti, the Ewe, the Igbo. So even the Igbos themselves, because I had to go do research on this. The Igbos did not start this, all this Hebrew Israelite thing. It was during the Biafran War. The Biafran War, when they started comparing. So basically, there was a lot of propaganda, because Biafra wanted to be its own state, fighting the recognized Nigerian government. So all these forces, they were split. They were split on who supports who with the weapon, because both Biafra and the Nigerian government at the time, Yakub Gowon was the president at the time. So their military capabilities was, equal at the time. But England, wanted to support both sides, because if Biafra succeeds, Biafra is where the oil is and the resources. So guess who also was a new player who is looking for allies? Israel, because Israel was formed at the time. Israel also was going through wars with the Arabs. They needed allies. So Israel was one of the countries supplying the Biafrans with weapons. Long story short, they were supplying them. And then they started, putting in their heads, like some of these leaders, that they are just like them, the Jews. So that's where this started. But here we go.
Ethnic groups have Hebrewisms, what one scholar called Hebrewisms, cultural similarities to the ancient biblical Israelites: circumcision on the 8th day, linguistic connections, name similarities, separation of the women during menstrual cycle and after childbirth, et cetera, et cetera. Well, our whole presence in America was part of a divine chastisement.
So you look at it, humans all around the world, if wherever you go, you would find so much similarities in people. So I've seen things that white people do, and we do it similarly in my culture. Does that make me a white person all of a sudden? Or does that make that white person, me all of a sudden? Or it's just there are some things humans, is called human behavior. Humans do certain things, the same. They look similar. All that proves is we are human beings. That's all. It doesn't mean anything more than that.
It's America for us could only be a land of captivity. And so 2019 actually marked officially the end of a 400-year presence in America. And that's 400 years.
Jamestown, from the first slave ship
arrival in Jamestown, right. And so for us, 2020 marks a very, very...
So you see, the year of return. So 2019, they said that's like the 400 mark of what was promised. So 2020, all these shenanigans right here. Now, guys, are you seeing the connection here? Are you seeing the connection? There's an ideology that is being exported. You know, this involves even that LGBTQ ideology. All of them are under one umbrella. They are under one umbrella. Just so you know. They are trying to taint Africans' minds.
Significant period, not just for Africans in America, but for all of us globally, humanity globally, because Israel was to be a light unto the nations. There's something that we're to project from here.
How do you explain this information not being more well known within the African Americans in the United States?
Well, this connection has always been suppressed. It has never been taught to us, and it's been discounted by many.
That's a good question. How come a lot of the blacks in America don't subscribe to this? So he's going to claim this information. See, these people, their prophet is just like the prophet of the Kwanzaa, you know, that Karenga guy. Go read about him. That guy also, you know, came from prison, and now all of a sudden they came up with Kwanzaa. The way I discovered this Kwanzaa thing, you know, because, you know, some of the blacks really bought into this, like, you know, they don't know. They think this is real. So they call it an African festival, because the thing is to sort of dirty up, you know, white people's culture, right? Because we all know Christmas, all that, that's Western culture. But they say they're against Western culture, but they would come up with something just to feel good and mimic it just to dirty up the white people's culture. So this person came up and said, "Oh, Happy Kwanzaa." I was like, "Oh, what is that?" And she was all disappointed. She's like, "Aren't you from Africa?" I was like, "Yeah." She's like, "Oh, yeah, that originated from Africa." I said, "I've never heard of it." You know? I said, "I've never heard of this Kwanzaa thing, you know, in my life ever." So I looked it up. I learned about how the Kwanzaa came about. You know, the guy, his real name is like Everett something. And then he changed his name to Maulana Koringa. So like people, they just come up with stuff, you know, and want you to, you know, fall for it. There is no historical context, you know, proof to what this man is saying.
But it constitutes part of a global awakening. They're all awakening to their roots and to their identity and what that means. And for us, it's as if Africa continues to knock on the doors of Israel in one form or another. I feel that we actually bring the key. If Hebrew is an African language, and if Israel sits on the African tectonic plate, then those
The tectonic plate, here we go.
of African ancestry in our return.
Wouldn't that mean Saudi Arabia is on Africa's tectonic plate too? So why wouldn't they go to Saudi Arabia and claim that it's Africa too?
That we can bring the missing elements and the keys to unlock what it is we really should be doing and what we should really be projecting to our people globally, because it's dark out there and we have to provide a light, a direction.
All right. So guys, you heard that, right? You heard that. So I just wanted to help give you guys a context. So they are Israelis are African because they are on the tectonic plate. You know, with these people, there is no shortage of theories or ideas that they come up with. Whether you think it or not, they're going to come up with it just to try to place themselves, you know, like sort of in Africa, but they are not African also. You notice in this conversation, there's nowhere where this man, in fact, did say they are Africans. Have you noticed that? When even he talked about Liberia, he's like, yeah, we had to go there because, you know, Liberia had to take us in. Had to. So everything is with Africa is sort of sketchy. But now, are they trying to use Africa as a launching pad? That brings us to this next interview. Let me pull it up from the Kinganda channel. So they put this Paul Jonita, to interview this man. Clearly, you would see that Jonita she doesn't know anything about this. That's what makes it even more fun. Because clearly, her mind was blown, but she didn't know how to express it. When we tell Africans about how crazy things are here in America, how crazy people think, sometimes you think we're making it up. But here we go. So let me start the video. This is for edutainment purposes, fair use.
Hi, welcome to our StreamYard podcast. Now, I do have a special guest here with me, a very powerful and well-known man. I'll let him introduce himself.
Hey, shalom. That's Hebrew for peace. I'm Bishop Nathaniel. I am the lead bishop of Israel United in Christ. Israel United in Christ.
See that guy? Doesn't he look literally is a movie character? But here we go.
Christ is the greatest Israelite organization on the planet Earth. We are growing exponentially. This truth that we are teaching and preaching is going to cover the earth worldwide. Okay.
Thank you so much for that introduction. Now, for those who are hearing about you for the first time, could you just tell them what Israel United in Christ, Hebrews Israel, is it?
No, you had it right the first time. Israel United
in Christ. Yes,
right.
Please tell us how it started and how you came about.
So this guy was an ex-cop, and I want you guys to pay attention. You're gonna be listening to the chosen people here. And yes, I did the homework for you. The headache, I already took it for you, so I'm here to lessen it. I'm going to explain everything that you don't understand.
Okay, well, the understanding that Black people, our people that came from Africa and that are currently in Africa, we are part of the 12 tribes of Israel written of in the Bible.
So the other one, so now they are placing themselves in Africa again. But some of their tribesmen are Mexicans. But so they want Africa. That's my point.
A lot of people don't realize that when they read about Moses and the Israelites, that was on the continent of Africa. For some reason, well, I know the reason why, but our people think Moses and the Israelites, that history was in Europe somewhere. No, it was in Africa. Moses was raised in the house of Pharaoh.
Exactly, born to be free. Ex-cops and ex-veterans, all flocking to Africa with these ideologies. Like, what is going on, guys? I mean, this guy was an ex-cop. So now he is a bishop. Here we go.
Moses was black. Pharaoh was black. The Egyptians were black. The Israelites were black.
So here we go. Moses, the Pharaoh, all of them were black.
The difference between the two, like when you read Exodus 11:7, it says there's a difference between the Egyptians and the children of Israel, was that the Egyptians were pure Nilotic and the Israelites were Shemitic, or what they would call today, they spoke what they would say one of the Bantu languages. Okay. After that, what happened? Okay, so this is the history that I've been sharing with our people. The prophets were all black. Peter, James, John, Jesus Christ, black men, Mary, black woman. They were all black people. And that's what has been hidden in the earth. That's been hidden. So from the time of the 1800s, you had people like in America, you had Gabriel Prosser, who started to teach our people that we were the children of Israel. You also had Nat Turner in 1831. We called him the prophet.
So guys, when I was telling you that when they say black, you have to pause and ask, you have to pause and ask, like, What do you mean by black? This is why you notice somebody's, oh, what you know, if you're African, they're looking at you and they're like, oh, what? Oh, you don't want to be black? So if black is based in skin color, how can I not want to be black? But this black thing is no longer about the color. When they say black, what they mean and what us Africans mean is not the same thing. It's not the same. So you notice he just turned Moses into black. I clearly showed you the picture. You know, the picture of Moses that they took with, you know, this was back in the days, 3D camera. 3D of Moses, white. We've seen pictures of Pharaoh. Okay, fine. You know, they might not be, you know, Vikings. They are not. They're not white like Swedish people, but we all know those pharaohs are not from Ghana, okay, or from Gambia. We know this. And this claim that it is black people that built that pyramid, you know, I would reserve my opinion on that for now. But here we go.
You had William Saunders Crowdy in 1896, and then 1915 you had F.S. Cherry. You had in 1920 Wentworth A. Matthew, and then you had 1930 you had Arnold Josiah Ford, who set up a small congregation in Ethiopia, okay, during the time of Haile Selassie. In the 60s, actually 1950 to the 60s.
So they went to Ethiopia too.
You had Abba Bivens, or Abba Bivens. That's from where we stem from. And from there you had Moshe Ben Kareem, Yaquab Sharad, Arya Ben Yehuda, and that's where Israel United in Christ stemmed from. House of David, then Israel United in Christ after that. And from there, Council of Churches is a European council of leaders that dictate how the Bible is to be taught, read, and preached.
So this is about the white people, the white man. So everything he's about to tell us, if you know all this and you disagree with it, why even waste your time with it? But no, you want to take the white man's position. You want to teach it, the same white man's book, quote unquote. But you just want to be the one in charge. Just tell the truth. But here we go.
The ones that say Jesus Christ is Caucasian, for example, I'm giving you an example, and he pushed that image throughout Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria. Oh, Nigeria. That was the other place we have a school at. I'm sorry. I've been forgetting. I'm up in age. But the world.
So you heard it. He said they have a school in Nigeria. So it was the white man that pushed, you know, the white Jesus image in Africa. You know, they like to bring that up. And we saw this man's own poster. So he's got a Jesus complex. So he's in competition with Jesus right here. The man's got good hair, nice beard, you know. So they are pissed off. How dare you put up this white man's picture? Long story short, what they're telling you is, you know, paint us up there instead of, you know, this white man. That's what this battle is all about, nothing else.
World Council of Churches is the right arm of the Roman Catholic Church. Many of you don't realize that it was the Roman Catholic Church under Pope Nicholas V that orchestrated the transatlantic slave trade. I'm going to say it again. Pope Nicholas V is the Pope that initiated a papal bull that orchestrated Spain and Portugal to begin the transatlantic slave trade.
So, all right, fine. You know, the Pope gave the decree that, yes, they could enslave Africans. But what does that have to do with you Hebrews being the chosen people? Guys, let's see where he's taking us with this. Okay, Pope Nicholas approved of the slavery. It's already happened, gone. Why is this important?
Which started in 1441. Think about it. From 1441, we were emancipated in 1865. That's approximately 424 years of chattel slavery. I want y'all to think about that. The churches don't talk about it. They've been instructed by the World Council of Churches never talk about it. So they don't talk about that. Now, watch this. I'm going to show you that in the Holy Bible. And now I need y'all to write this stuff down. Okay? Deuteronomy 28. Watch.
So he's gonna remember he was saying the white man is the one that told this, dictated how it was written, how it was told. So he is going to the white man's book. Let's hear him tell us
what God told Moses to tell us. This was, again, on the continent of Africa. This is what he said. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day.
Guys, doesn't he look Somali here? he made sure his hair looks like wool. He looks very Somali here. I suspect he might be Somali, but here we go, pretending to be a Hebrew here.
That all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So in Africa, we were warned by the prophet Moses, if you break God's commandments. People often ask me, what is the true religion? What did we just read? If you break God's commandments, all these curses will come upon you. So God never gave us a religion of Catholicism, Baptist, Episcopalian, Mormon, Seventh-day Adventist, Protestant. That's made up by the white man, our former colonizers.
So this was made by the white man. He just finished reading the same book from the white man. But you know what they would say? Oh, no, it's not from the white man. That's not, the white man didn't write it. If it's convenient, the white man wrote it. If it's not, he didn't write it. Okay.
Slave masters, they made all that up. The Bible says, if you break God's commandments, these curses will come upon you. What curses? What are you talking about? I'm going to read some curses, and you tell me if this happened to our black people or the white man in Israel. Verse 32. Thy son.
So they're comparing themselves to the white man. Again, you see, white Israelis. So imagine, this had to be madness. You go and pick up some book, you're reading it. So in this book, you're picking out, the curses and attributing that to yourself. Can you imagine that? Guys, please get the likes up, Astrophoto said, Afridamus, leave us Somalis alone. Man, I love the Somalis. But guys, get the likes up. So this is crazy. It's literally, a religion. It is a religion. But they want to pretend like, the white man is evil. The information the white man gave you is wrong. But we are going to give you the same information, but you got to trust us. It's like, this is wild.
And thy daughters, you want to say something?
No. I just want to react to what you're saying. So
okay. I'm going to read some curses that would happen to the Israelites. Verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and fare with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in your hand. So let's explain that. One of the prophecies of being cursed would be that our sons and daughters would be given to another people. We were given to Spain, Portugal, the Dutch, Britain, and America. And it's
Sir, the Old Testament, remember the New Testament came and replaced the Old Testament. So slavery, the transatlantic slave trade wasn't that long ago. Okay? That wasn't that long ago. They traded people. So they went and looked in this book and they picked the worst part and attributed that to themselves. And you want to tell me black people, how can black people win? There are people who constantly, they're just looking for what would take their spirit down and present it to them and say, you see, this is for you. They're talking about you. Remember, like all those statistics, oh, this 90%, this affects, blacks, this affect black. I didn't read that. I didn't take those things because it didn't apply to me. But there are blacks that just go along with it, and it eventually becomes their reality.
Said we would have no might in our hands, no military might to get our sons and daughters back, no political might to get our sons and daughters back, and no economic might to get our sons and daughters back. So that's one curse. I'm gonna read another curse. So now the question is, did this happen to us, black people, or the white man in Israel today? That's the question. Verse 48, here's another curse. Therefore shall you serve your enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee.
So so you see what they are doing here? This is really, really crazy. So they are comparing themselves, they apply to the Jews. So they're comparing themselves to the Holocaust, like the people who went through that, mind you. So are you telling me, I mean, you know what? I'll leave this one alone. But that's what they are doing, comparing themselves. Everything has to do with the white man. So you see now, Africans, you understand why they would tell you, oh, you kiss the white man's ass for simply, like you respect people because you want respect back. You're raised to respect people. That doesn't mean allow people to walk all over you, but respect is given first for you to receive it. But here we go.
Hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, meaning we would serve our enemies for food, water, clothing. Want of all things includes education. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Yokes of iron, chattel slavery on our necks. Did that happen to us black people or to the white man in Israel?
Guys, you see what he's doing exactly, right? So he went into the book. He is interpreting this to fit them. To fit them. When this book was written, then they said this, the the Hebrews were enslaved in Egypt. Those are the people they were talking about. But okay.
Everybody got to think about this because you've not been taught this in your churches. Now, I'm going to read another curse. Watch this. Verse 37. And thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. What does that mean, a proverb and a byword?
No, Zongo, they cannot, every black hate group, extremists, there is no talking point if they don't talk about the white man. It has to be about white people. It has to be. No, they cannot have conversation without white people.
Proverbs and bywords are names outside of what God calls us. So in the Bible, God calls us the 12 tribes of Israel. When we went into slavery and were colonized, we were renamed. The name, for example, African American, that's a proverb and a byword. Nigger is a proverb and a byword. Ghanaian, proverb and byword. Nigeria, who gave the name Nigeria?
Here we go. They always, Ghana, Nigeria again. They always got to bring that. These people would not admit. It's so simple. Just admit that your ancestors possibly came from those regions. But they like to shame Nigerians and be like, oh, who named Nigeria? Who cares? Even if Nigeria is named by a humpback or a midget, who cares? But here we go. Who named Nigeria? Who cares? But they like to bring this up as if that means something.
To that area. A white woman made that name up and said, call them Nigerians. All the Liberia, who gave that name? White people. These are labels that they put on us. So now
Liberia. Guess who came there? The people that look like you came out, they enslaved the natives there. They named it Liberia. So you see the truth is coming out, sir. It's colonized mindset. The same white man they said they're hating, they want to be like the white man.
Here I am, African American. So that curse has been fulfilled on us. Now watch this. Here's a great one. Verse 68. Listen good. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now you got to look up that word Egypt. It's a Greek word that means captive or bondage, slavery.
That's not true. Let's look up the meaning of Egypt. Let me pull up the meaning of Egypt here. It's a Greek word. So let's see. Before we proceed, I want to make sure we are learning here today. So he claimed that Egypt means bondage. Let's look at what Egypt means. Why the Greek called it Egypt. So the word Egypt in modern English comes from the Middle French name Egypt, which comes from the Latin name Aegyptus, which comes from the ancient Greek name Aegyptus. This name in turn comes from the late Egyptian name Haykuptar. You know what Haykuptar is? The Egyptian god, which was the name for a specific Egyptian city of Memphis. So the name Memphis, Tennessee came from Egypt. This name in turn originated as a corruption of the Middle Egyptian. So long story short, is named after the Egyptian god of soul, Ta. So it's not about captivity like he claimed. So you see the problem here? They somehow always find a way to put themselves in bondage. I don't know why, but somehow bondage sells.
That's what Egypt means. It's a Greek word. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships. Who went into bondage again with ships? Did the white man in Israel go into slavery on ships? Or did our people taken from Uganda, taken from Nigeria, taken from Zanzibar?
Wait. So he's naming the East Coast, but he's not talking about the West Coast. So these people are finding ways again to, instead of just saying with our these ancestors came from Africa, no, they want to be Hebrews. They want to be Hebrews.
Taken from Sierra Leone, taken from the Congo, Guinea. Who took us on ships? Let's read it again. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Yes, psychological. He said Uganda. So the slave ships were we didn't know that some of these blacks were from Uganda too. This is wild.
Again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there, once you got off the ships, you shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you, meaning no man shall save you. The word buy is a Quaker word that means save you. Our people were taken.
Rasmois, you're absolutely correct. But this guy just says whatever he likes. Yes, white people were enslaved by the Berbers in the 1700s. And guess how they got them from Europe to North Africa? In ships. In ships. Yes, they did enslave white people. What is he talking about?
From, for example, Burkina Faso. Okay. And you had a leader named Thomas Sankara who tried to redeem the people there. What happened? They assassinated him. Our people were taken from the Congo. You had a great black leader named Patrice Lumumba that rose up. They assassinated him. Our people were taken from Ghana. You had a great black leader named Kwame Nkrumah. Y'all know I can't.
So, guys, so now he's entering Africa, and you guys would be happy because he's going to tell us how they are getting kicked out of African countries. The African countries are not going to put up with this nonsense, but just hang tight. Now he's entering Africa. He wants to tell us African history.
Some of these names. Kwame Nkrumah.
But he can't even say Kwame Nkrumah's name, but he wants to teach it.
How do you say his name?
Kwame Nkrumah.
Thank you. what she said. We were taken from there. And what happened to him? He was exiled from his homeland to Liberia, and his cook was murdered, assassinated. He lived in fear the rest of his life. He wrote several books, but he lived in fear and died a very suspicious death. Okay, so Nelson Mandela was a mighty, listen good to what I'm about to say now. Listen good. Nelson Mandela was a mighty revolutionary along with his wife, Winnie. When he got arrested, they imprisoned him for about 27 years or more.
So who doesn't know this? So guys, now you're beginning to see the madness. So they run around. They really think they're telling you something, you know, Africans don't already know about.
27. They broke him. When he came out, he was no longer a revolutionary. His spirit was crushed, and they allowed him to be the president of South Africa. Nobody saw nothing wrong with that. And what was one of the first things they made him do? Divorce his wife and crush the rebellion. That's what they made him do. Okay, so any black leader that rises up, what does the Western powers do? They crush them. They assassinate them. They manipulate them. So what have I been doing? Showing you what would happen to the 12 tribes of Israel. They would be oppressed. They would be colonized. They would be renamed. They would go into slavery on ships. Okay, so ask yourself, the curses that I read, did it happen to our black people or to the white man in Israel who was set up there in 1948?
But so their competition is against the white man. So why bring Ghana, Nigeria, all of us into this?
These white people were put in the land of Israel in 1948. They are not the Israelites of the Holy Bible. They are not. Now, I know that might shock you.
See, I told you guys, the fight is, you know, to debunk that the white people, so when you read in the Bible, there's no emphasis on race in the Bible. This is maddening. You can go read it. There's nothing putting emphasis on race. But somehow they are debunking something that the white man did not say. I don't see white people going around talking about, hey, you know, in Exodus, you know, we are the people in there. We are the chosen people. I am yet to see a white man or white woman say this. But okay.
But it's biblical. And there has been a campaign, a media blackout on the Israelites. There are organizations that are set up. They create something called anti-Semitism and say, if you speak or criticize Israel, white Israel, you are an enemy of the state and the Western powers are against you. So, for example, the Israelites, which I'm a part of, and I realize that we are the people of the Bible. We are the people of this book. Now, you may ask yourself, how do you know the people in the Bible are black people? Okay, I just proved colonialism and slavery. Can I show color in the Bible? Most Christians, when I've gone throughout Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, the first thing is color's not in the Bible.
So you see the indoctrination coming. These people are hate mongers. So they are bringing race into, you know, African, you know, religion, like the Christianity, the brotherhood those people have. Now they are bringing colorism into it.
That's the first thing they say. So I asked the question, if color's not in the Bible, why do you believe Jesus is white? Why do you believe that? And they'll sit there and they'll look around, they'll look at the sky and go, because when we were colonized, we were taught that. When you were colonized and enslaved, you were taught Jesus is white. But did they show you Bible proof that Jesus is white? Then they all go, no. And I say, okay, let me help you. All right, now I'm going to show you Jesus is black in the Bible.
So you see the obsession with outer appearance, greatest sign of the devil. This guy is the devil. Watch what he's about to say here.
Let's go to Revelation chapter 1. I'm going to start at verse 1 and then I'm going to jump to verse 14 to the point. Verse 1 reads, the revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him, to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass, and he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. Let's jump over to verse 14, where John looks at Jesus and writes a description down, his description down. His head and his hairs were white like wool, meaning the hair on his head was white and the texture was wool.
So even, let's say Jesus is from Middle East, according to the book. So did I not tell you guys that this guy have a Jesus complex? So to him, he's the one that is being described, touching his head. Anybody can go read the book and say, I'm the one they're talking about. But okay.
Wool hair is not straight hair. Wool hair is Afro hair. You understand that? Wool hair is Afro hair. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, meaning the whites of his eyes were red with wine. That's what it means. Because when you read Genesis 49, verse 12, Matthew 11, 19, it says Jesus Christ drank wine moderately. So the whites of his eyes were red. Okay, now watch his color. Verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass. What color is brass? Brass is brown, as if they burned in a furnace. If you take anything and burn it in a furnace, ask yourself the question, what color does it get? If you burn white rice in a furnace, what color does it get? Does it turn black?
Guys, I know some of you are you guys really listening to what the analogy he's giving here? He's going out of his way to say, oh yeah, Jesus is black. Okay, fine. Let's say Jesus is black. So what? But you see, that helps justify their position that they are the chosen people. They are chosen by God. And who delivered this message? Themselves.
Black or white? Black. So it's telling you Christ had Afro hair and his skin like it burned in a furnace. He was black. Is there any more? Is there any more? Watch. Come. Let me help you. Let me go to the Apostle Paul in Acts chapter 21. Watch this. The description of Paul, Acts 21, verse 37. And as Paul was to be led into the castle, he said unto the chief captain, may I speak unto thee? Who said, can you speak Greek? Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days made an uproar? So
remember how their leader said it was innate in them? But everything they say, they have to go pull up their book and read and dictate to you what they are reading. And then they interpret it the way they see it fit. This is really crazy. And this is hateful, by the way.
Captain of the guard thought Paul was Egyptian. Now, we all know the ancient Egyptians were black. Not those Arabs you see today. Those are not the ancient Egyptians. Let me say it again. The Arabs in Egypt today are not. When did they get there? 641 AD. 641 years after Christ, those Arabs conquered the land of Egypt. So we're in the year, what year is this with Paul? This is about the year 3 AD. About the year 3, somewhere around there. Let's read it again. Verse 38. This is what the captain says to Paul. Art not thou that Egyptian, which before these days made us an uproar and let us out in Uganda, came to me and said, brother, that does not mean his skin. It means his feeling, his emotions. I said, wait a minute. Can you read English? I can read.
So if you look at this book that is based in spirit, they talk about spirit. So he's saying that this Ugandan priest is saying to him, no, they're not talking about skin color. They're talking about the spirit. So you see, everything is outer appearance. So they are bringing racial animosity based in skin color. That's what they see, but they claim to be spiritual. But there's a disconnect between him and someone who based things on spirituality. Let's hear what he's talking about.
I'm gonna read it again. My skin is black upon me. I said, Pastor, does it say my emotion, or does the word say there skin? My skin. He goes, yes, it does say skin. I said, then stop lying to the people. Stop lying to the people throughout Uganda. Stop lying to the people throughout Africa. Stop lying to the people of the world. Stand up for the truth that the Bible says. He walked away. He has something to think about. Is there more? Jeremiah. Y'all heard of the prophet Jeremiah? Chapter 8, verse 21. He says,
guys, get the likes up. Get the likes up. He says, stop messing with the Somalis. Look, you know, it's all in love. So please hit the likes and get it up there. Bye.
for the hurt of the daughter of my people am I hurt. I am black. And what? I am black. Who says this? The prophet Jeremiah. So what did we prove? Jesus is described as black with afro hair in the Bible. The apostle Paul looked like the ancient Egyptians, black. The prophet Job said, my skin.
Exactly. Chris, car designer, thank you very much. All this talk, but they don't want to be black African. Make it make sense. You cannot make this make sense. Everything they're saying here, they don't want to, they are running away from being African.
Is black. Jeremiah says, I am black. Is there more? Solomon. See, this is why.
So Solomon is black too.
Why there's a media blackout on the Israelites. Don't let them on the airwaves. They're going to undo the centuries of lies the World Council of Churches and the Catholic Church have done. We're undoing the lies. Where am I going? Song of Solomon. Watch this. Song of Solomon, chapter 1, verse 1, the Song of Songs, which is Solomon. So who wrote this? King Solomon. Verse 5. They hired one of his friends to kill him. They gave his friend thousands of dollars to kill him. Why am I bringing that up? Whoever pays you, dictates what you teach, how your culture is. So now I said that nicely to say this. Foreign aid is given to many of the countries in Africa. When I've gone throughout Africa and established schools, I notice you all have the same white supremacist school system. You all have the same white supremacist church system.
Here we go. So it's about white people again. So in Africa, it's just the white supremacist system, you know. But he is coming. Did he create his own curriculum? So, and if it's yes, what is it?
What do you want to say, Juanita? Go ahead.
No, I was agreeing with you because that is true. Because we're colonized by the British,
Yes.
most of the things that they taught us or left behind are what we still do, even our education system, our parliaments, and so many things. So yes, I do agree with this.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the Bible warns us about taking money from people who hate us. When you read Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7, I'm going to read it. It says, surely oppression makes a wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. What does it mean, a gift? A gift is money. Money destroys the heart. Your heart is your mind. $1 billion is to be for the creation of a strong police force for personal gain. I'm trying to be very nice and political so nobody gets in trouble, but I know what goes on.
Why is he talking like a teenager? Like, oh, jeez.
I know what goes on. I've seen it worldwide. Many of the black institutions in America are given grants by America, and they are our first opponents. When we try to bring out the truth of the Bible, the black groups are the first to come against. I'll give you another example. In Ghana, I sent some brothers to Ghana. It was this year. And guess what the Protestant church did when we came to give out flyers and show them the truth of the Bible? They attacked the brothers. The police had to get involved. Why did they attack the brothers? Because the brothers were teaching them, showing the congregation, Jesus is black. We must keep the commandments if we want salvation. All churches are taught lies and are preaching lies. The brothers were attacked and beaten for that.
So you see the problem? What he's explaining, they send their people to Ghana to go there to tell those people that, you know, to spread hate, talking about Jesus is black. You know, those Protestants there are not having that nonsense, like preaching about how the white man is the devil, all that crap. These people want to preach about love, about people coming together. So those people are like, nah, get out of here. So I guess they got beat up by the Ghanaians. The Ghanaians are like, nah, get out of here. So they're getting beat up around Africa. Let's see where else they got beat up at.
Not just Ghana. It happened in Sierra Leone.
They got beat up in Sierra Leone. I'm not surprised that Sierra Leoneans will not put up with that crap.
The brothers were arrested. It happened.
They got beat up and arrested in Sierra Leone.
Here in America, there are institutions like the ADL, Anti-Defamation League, SPLC, Southern Poverty Law Center, Canary Mission, CAA. I forgot what that stands for. CAA, I forgot what it stands for. But these groups, along with the NAACP, are against the true teaching of the Holy Bible. If you don't teach white supremacy, that Jesus is white, God is white, the Israelites are white, you are an enemy of the state. This is why Christ said, what shall I...
That is not true. See, in America, you can teach anything you want to your kid. I mean, look at him. Like, they are allowed to stand on the streets and spew literal hate. Like, literally they can call white people devil, going to hell, everything. So what is he talking about?
Profit a man if you gain the whole world but lose your soul. Every man, every woman listening right now to me, you have to make a decision. Will you believe the Bible or will you believe white supremacy? Because the Black Messiah is coming back to establish New Jerusalem on earth. You have to make your decision. Will you be his enemy or will you be his servant? I'm his servant. Brothers and sisters that listen to me, we are his servants. We acknowledge. Now watch this. Watch this. People ask me, how do you be saved? How do we become saved? Okay. I'm going to give you the Bible, what Jesus Christ said. Matthew 19, verse 16 and 17. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do that I may have eternal?
Guys, I've dropped the link. Hit that link, come through, and I want to hear your opinions on this. They think they're the chosen people, and why are they in Africa? Do you guys think the Africans, went too far, instead of inviting them, let them just preach, they decided to beat them up and arrested them. So Colin, let me hear your point of view.
Eternal life. That's the question. What do we have to do to get eternal life? Salvation. And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is God. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. What did Christ say? Keep the commandments. What did he say? Keep the commandments. Now I want you to think about during the time of Moses. Why did our people get colonized and enslaved? Because we broke what? The commandments. That's why we were enslaved and colonized, because we broke God's commandments. So now Christ is coming back. He already told us the key. If you want eternal life, keep the commandments. The churches say, no, don't keep.
Guys, this is madness. Let me bring in Ras Moise. Ras Moise, welcome to the Afridamus Report.
Hey, how you doing, Afridamus?
I am well. How about you?
I'm doing fantastic.
Hey, Ras Moise, man,
Yeah.
What do you think about the anything but African tribesmen here? They claim that their homeland is in Israel, but they have to come through Western Africa. They are naming all these tribes, trying to lump us into this. What is your take on it?
You see, the funny thing about these people is this, right? They claim their land to be Israel, right? But yet, why are they in Africa? Africa is not Israel. Africa is in a whole another continent. Israel is in the Middle East.
Right.
Africa is not in the Middle East. Why not go to Israel? As you claim that these people that are in Israel, they are the fake Jews. Why not go over there and tell them, like, listen, this is not your land. This is our homeland. Our ancestors was staying in our land for a long period of time. So go claim your land, which is Israel, and that's in the Middle East, not Africa.
Yeah, and also,
why are they there?
Yeah, and also, what's the obsession with Moses, like biblical times?
See, the thing is, the people in the Bible they were never black people. What I mean by black people, I'm saying that people were descendant of enslaved African. the people that that have like brother nose, broad shoulder, these are the people that they describe as being black. So the people in the Bible were not these people. The people in the Bible were not West African tribe and slash Central African tribe.
Right, right. Hold on, let me read this from Habibi. This is very funny. Habibi said, why does these Hebrew Israelites look like they spent the last 40 years in a desert? Is that part of the Hebrew aesthetic? I think so. I think, they want to convince us that, they've been, roaming for the past 40 years. The obsession with this is crazy. But go ahead, Rasmus.
Yeah, and also these people pose a major threat to Africans because they're going in Africa and they are manipulating African, thinking that your tribe came from Israel, and that's
Right,
not true. And a lot of Africans are questioning their origin because their ancestors already passed down their origin. Now
right.
they're questioning their own origin.
So,
I came from this particular tribe in Israel, or I came from the tribe of Issachar. It's bogus.
but do you think the Ghanaians there went too far to beat them up and in Sierra Leone?
Listen, listen, I am in total agreement with the Ghanaian and the Sierra Leonean. Uh, they're doing their due diligence by getting rid of these people because these people are going to brainwash the citizens, and now they're gonna turn other tribes against other tribes. As bad as it is, in Africa, because we already have like tribal conflict. These people are going in Africa and making it even worse.
Right, exactly. You're
So,
absolutely correct about that. Let's
so,
bring in
so
Blue.
therefore, they don't need to be there. To be honest with you, to be quite honest with you, they don't need to be in Africa. They are a major threat to African society and their people. And that's all I have to say for now. I'm gonna let somebody else speak.
Thank you. Let's bring in Blue. Blue, welcome to the Afridamus report.
Hello, Afridamus. Thanks for having me, man. I love that you're tackling this topic.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. So we have these. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I was saying, yeah, go ahead. What do you want to add on to these Hebrews and their, being the chosen people, but they are not Africans, but they want to be in Africa? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's crazy. And the brother who just spoke before me hit the nail on the head. He said that it's basically just going to create more tribal beefs. Okay. So these people are very dangerous, in my opinion. They have the mind of the colonizer. They want to come in under the guise of Black Hebrew Israelitism, but in all reality, they just want to slip in. They want to start to manipulate resources, land, and then start to control, politics and all this other nonsense over the next X how many years.
Yeah,
The point I
well,
want to make is, go
also,
ahead.
if you look at it, like, they said, it's unbelievable. We got attacked in Ghana. So you're going to like this church, Protestant church, like, imagine in that society for somebody to preach hate, like to say those things would be considered hateful. You know,
Exactly.
like to say you can hate the white man because of their skin color. They would see that as hate. So they will attack you, especially if you're doing it in the name of religion.
Yeah, exactly. And I was just gonna say that if these people, these Ghanaians are, Bible believers raised in the Bible or whatever, in the Bible it doesn't mention race. So when you have somebody from the outside coming in telling you that the Bible is telling you to hate white people, but you yourself, that the Bible doesn't say anything about race, then of course there's gonna be a conflict there. You're not just gonna let somebody bully or push over on you to just accept something, especially when they're an outsider. But I just want to give a theory real quick of what I think is going on. So the Hebrew Israelites, they've been in Dimona, Israel for the last like 30, 40 years, right? So
Right.
in the last few years, I think since 2016, the Black Hebrew Israelites here in America have gotten on have become a hate group.
Right.
ADL watch list. You know, those are the Jewish people from Israel who basically regulate anti-Semitism all over the world.
Right.
So these people, from what I understand, have been in Dimona, have now faced some sort of issues to where they're being kicked out of Israel.
Yeah.
So what they want to do now, what I think, is they want to use the fact that some of these African tribes, I don't know if this is true or not, but these the white Jews say that they have some DNA links to being
Look.
Israelites. So what happened is now these black Hebrews being kicked out of Israel are using the cover of, oh, you know, we're Israelites just like you, African Israelites. We come in peace, let us in, so they can relocate without anybody knowing the backstory that they're facing some issues, technical issues in Israel, and they're getting kicked out, and now they're looking for a place to go and exploit and extort resources. That's what I think.
Well, just like in Ghana, they demolished like that quote unquote Hebrew center there. You know, eventually the truth comes out because they were like, oh man, these Ghanaians are like white supremacists. Look at what they're doing to us. We are not welcome anywhere. But come to find out, the truth comes out. Like, it's government property, and
Exactly.
they didn't pay the lease. Even they owe money, so they have to vacate the property. That's what governments
Exactly.
do all over the world.
And real quick before you pass the mic, I just want to say what's funny about what you just said is that yesterday Go Black, and he's the one that broke that story on that building being destroyed in Ghana. So he, went with the whole, oh, it's because they're Israelites, blah blah blah. So yesterday he had a stream where he was having people call in his stream to ask him questions about how to move to Africa. And all the people were calling saying, well, I thought you said Hebrew Israelites were in danger in Africa. So it's like backfired on him. So now he's saying, oh, and I saw it. I was laughing my ass off. He was like, oh, that was just a sensational story. I didn't mean it like that. Hebrew Israelites are welcome in Africa, blah, blah, blah. I said, man, look at these people. And lastly, and this, seriously, I'm done after this. That's the number one red flag about these Hebrews. They will look at the Bible and they will twist it and lie to your face with a straight face. Somebody like that you cannot trust at all.
Yeah, but they're gonna run into major problems if they're taking this Bible thing to Africa. Those people are not playing these games. I'm telling you.
Exactly.
Well, especially the way they. Sorry.
Go ahead, brother.
Especially the way that they engage people. Have you ever seen them on the street corners?
Oh yeah.
They are vile.
Uh-huh. I have written papers on them, for a class. So I went out to study them, and it was amazing. It was amazing to watch. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, would you expect a reaction to anything other than violence?
It's like they are telling you, say something right now and see what's gonna happen. Hold on. So Mayor, are you shocked that he's crying that they got beat up in Ghana and these other African nations for spreading these?
I'm not shocked that they're crying about it, but I'm not shocked that it happened.
Yeah, because
they cry about everything.
Yeah, they're not gonna put up with that anywhere. I'll come to you in a sec. Let's have Al. Al, are you there?
Jarama.
Oh, Jarama. Al, thank you for calling in. Because for you to speak on behalf of your Hebrew brothers here.
Stop it, man.
What do you think about the Hebrews? Because you're one of the people who's like, hey, we want to welcome anybody because they are black. They come to Africa.
We cleared this the last time. I said people like Brandon, like Dynasty, people that want to come back to their tribe and come back to Africa spiritually to be part of their people.
But the Hebrews love you, sir.
But no, definitely not. If they come to Sierra Leone, again, anytime they come to Sierra Leone, they will keep beating them up. We don't want people like that in Africa. We don't want, these are the sort of people we do not want in Africa. I already said that in Brandon's show and in the past. The reason why they're claiming to be Hebrew Israelite, what I said in the past, you see, You see, this is what, you know, the last time we had this the chat with Kidola and Mal and the others, remember we went all the way back to Chad, around Chad, Niger.
Right.
You know, you see, us West African people who understand this, before slavery, we already had so many admixture in us, right? We have so many admixtures in West Africa. A lot of this tribe that you see, when we do our DNA,
Yeah, but not all Africans were enslaved.
No.
This idea is just bogus.
Before slavery.
You mean transatlantic slave trade? Because slavery, there were many.
Way before the transatlantic slave trade,
right?
Right. You know, we already had empires within. Yeah. So in these empires, there's so many movement within the empires. One empire fell and another one comes up, and people start migrating. You know, from where you had Borno all the way to the you know, for example, your ancestors' empire, the Ghana Empire to the Mali Empire. There's so many. We had the Arabs coming in, the Berbers coming in. There's so many people coming in, and we obviously had admixture in our DNA over the years. And obviously, then we had transatlantic slave trade. And then obviously they took that DNA with them to the Americas. Obviously, if some African American had mixture also with the white Caucasian over the years as well, that add into the admixture. So when they see that Semites, like one maybe tiny percent of Semitic in their DNA, they're like, oh wow, I'm Hebrew Israelite. I got Middle Eastern admixture. And at the same time, a lot of this, remember Kidola was saying about the red Igbos, you know, because you got a lot of red Igbos that claim to be Hebrew Israelite also, like during the Biafra War, you know, it started during those days, right?
Well, now they're trying to add the Ashantis to Hebrews too.
Crazy.
The Ashantis and the Airways.
Yes, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. So these people, they already had this admixture years ago. And to be honest with you, what Israel is doing, they actually they want the fertile land in Judah's ancestral home, but they're not telling him.
In Cameroon.
In Cameroon, southeastern Nigeria, they want the fertile land because they have no land in the Middle East for food, right? To grow food. So they need this part of the world. So those people that are claiming to be Hebrew Israelite, go to Israel, go to the Middle East, go and live there. You come to Africa, we're Niger Congo family tree. We got Nilotic people, and we got obviously different branch of Africans, but we're not Jewish. We are not, absolutely not. And also, I did disagree with someone saying the ancient Egyptians were not black. The ancient Egyptians were black. The ancient Egyptians were black people. However, it comes down to the end of the Egyptian. No. Let me just finish this Afridamus before I get controversial. Come to the end of the Egyptian reign, right? The Egyptian reign obviously passed on to lighter skinned pharaohs that ruled that part of the world. And if you look at where Sudan is today,
I get it. You know, you were on a good roll. Don't get all hotepi on us.
Sudanese?
Let's allow Snake Man.
I am a fuller from Sierra Leone.
Go ahead, Snake Man. Welcome to the Afridamus Report, Snake Man. Snake Man, what do you think about the Hebrews claiming to be the chosen people, but they are claiming everything except African? We are confused, but they want to be in Africa as well without saying they're Africans. What's going on?
What can I say? I had discussions with Hebrew Israelites that told me my people, I'm Igbo, my people will be enslaved and exterminated from the earth. I should convert to their belief because the ancestors...
Really? Hold on. Where are you calling from?
No, that was a discussion I had. I was on a white platform, a white stream, and the Hebrew Israelite came up and he tried to convince me that if I don't convert to his religion, that I will be exterminated and enslaved. And,
right. Were you so like, do you live in the United States?
Nope.
Where do you live?
Right now I live in Germany.
So like were you are Igbo because they like to point fingers at you, you guys is tribe, that saying you guys are part of them, you guys are Jews, and some of the the race hustler Igbos are also claiming to be, Hebrews. So have you ever known that you were Hebrew, or this the first time you heard about it on the internet?
On the internet, not now. Like I said, I had discussions before that, but we see those Igbo you're describing, but it's the same like the Igbo Muslims. Like we understand.
Okay.
We understand you converted. It's all okay, but you must understand those Igbos, they are not like the Hebrew Israelites. They don't just do it to make business. You know how we are.
Right.
But in the end of the day, you should ask them, hey, you respect your ancestry, basically. So, the old gods, the old kingdoms.
Afrodamus. I don't need to call this guy out.
Yeah.
I was the father with this guy. The father thought I was a. I don't know. The father thought.
Ola, don't make it.
Hold on, Snake Man. Hold on.
He tries to make it an African dust competition. I know.
Hold on. Your father thought. You see, it's good when you don't know somebody. Sometimes you don't judge people. Sometimes I only ask you where you from. I will try to praise you and your culture. Your father thought.
And then you started an African dust showdown with my father. Congratulations, you did it.
Nonsense.
Now you get your gold star.
Do you even know about Igbo? Were you born there? Don't say something you don't know about.
Again.
Your father is very hostile to your father is very hostile to all the Igbo.
Here we go again, Mr.
Get the fuck out of this place. Don't lie. Don't lie here.
I'm not lying. Do you want another showdown? Another dust showdown?
I don't get that. I'm far richer than your father.
Don't Afridamus, don't listen to him. He's just butthurt because he wanted a gotcha moment and he had an argument with my father, and then this was.
Why did you bring your father? If you cannot come to this panel and be a man, if you cannot come to this panel and be a man, you have to bring your father. You're too young.
Hey, because you didn't believe me. I told you everything you said. Hey, I don't believe you. Hold on. You said you didn't believe me, so I get my father.
Your father hates Anambra. Your father hates all the people.
Ola, this is not the channel to discuss this. Just because your butt hurt. Stop it, Ola. Stop it.
Stop being honest. Stop
it, Ola. Sing for once, brother. Sing.
Hold on. I didn't. Okay. So you guys met in another panel where Snake Man.
It was Kaiser.
So your father came in.
His accent is a little bit difficult for me because it's not German, right?
Right.
I said,
basically, hey, let me explain. Let me explain. We had a discussion about Nigeria, and that was on Kaiser's channel. And this guy came in, not staying to the topic, questioned me. I told him everything I know. It was not enough, so I brought my father. Then he started the same dusty argument like he started right now on your channel.
You see,
because he got mad that my father proved me right.
Afrodamus,
stop it, Ola. It is in the past.
Snake Man, let him talk. Hold on.
His father was very hostile. His father said...
yes, because you insulted me.
His father said...
not be hostile.
Hold on, Snake Man.
Hold on. Afrodamus, this is Blue. Remember they did the same thing to me the other day when they thought I wasn't African.
Yep.
The father, I said your accent is different. You sound German.
No, you insulted me as an outsider and said I don't know shit.
My father heard.
They did the same exact thing to me, man.
Then you insulted me, so my father raised a bastard.
Afrodamus, you see his accent? If you listen to this guy, people will say he's not in Nigeria. Me myself, I was even confused.
It's not about that. That is
hold on, don't lie.
It was the problem that you insulted me and my father.
Hola. He said his father came on and proved the point. So why are you still fighting with him?
Because his entire point was that I should shut the fuck up.
Okay, all right, hold on, guys.
His father hate other Igbos.
No, he doesn't hate other Igbos.
If I say Anambra,
no, stop. Do you see what I mean, Afridamus?
Don't lie here.
Because you guys did the exact same thing to me, man, and that's not right. You pushing people away for no reason. Y'all did the same thing to me.
Let's just stick to the
topic. Let's have Sharsi Usman. Sharsi, where are you calling from?
I'm calling from United States.
All right, Sharsi, what do you know about the Hebrew Israelites and their rhetoric? Claiming that they are the chosen people, and but they're not claiming being African in a way, but in another way they say it vaguely, but they want to be in Israel. So we're confused. What's your take?
Yes, the fact that they all speak English, American English, it's crazy and confusing, and they can't convey their message by speaking English at all. So it's a confusion at all, because I was speaking to one of them, my gym, and he kept saying they were the original people and whatnot, and what is this and that and all, and I
He
said,
was saying they are what?
he was saying that they were the original
Yeah,
Israelites.
that's another thing they like to say. We are the first one. Like
Then
another
I
thing.
asked him a
Why do
simple
they?
question.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Go ahead.
I asked him a simple question. I said, "Hey, did Jesus spoke English?" Then he said, "No." Then I said, "Yes, I know that you understand that in English, and it makes sense to me in English. But the goddamn it, the man never spoke English. It's just amazing. Going back, so you can't really go back and forth with their own language because they can't get to you. Because honestly, they don't know what Jesus spoke. They know how he looked. They can talk about the woolly hair. They can talk about this
Yeah,
and that.
but woolly hair, like,
But
like
they can't go back to the original language. That's the thing. They can't. Nobody could. Not the
well,
not
Jesus spoke Aramaic.
yeah,
You know.
yes. That's
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah.
Why can't you not speak that same language to me and make me understand things?
Well,
But
shalom, shalom.
yeah,
They speak Hebrew to you.
between you got to bring English in between. It's like
So you don't agree that they are the chosen people?
no, hell no, no way.
Okay.
There is no goddamn. It's impossible. It's not true. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
say Black Lives Matter, right? Yes, it
Right.
does matter. Say it does matter because every life originated from Africa. Correct? If that's the case, but if it's the other way around, it's a different thing. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to convert people. Like you see, like Snake Man said, he
Yes.
ran into some that try to convince him. But yeah, I'll
Yeah,
come back to
listen,
you, Shashley.
Afirmados, listen. You see, they speak English, right? They're using a King James Version Bible.
Right.
That King James, he fucking on his own cousin.
Oh
When
God.
his father,
Wait, wait, wait,
when his
wait.
no,
Today, today
listen.
is
When
today
his
is Sunday.
wife
Why,
find
why
out,
you, why you, why you bad mouthing King
no,
James? He didn't do anything.
no, listen, no, he raping his
King James was
own
a
cousin. Then
homosexual.
when his
Okay,
wife, listen,
okay,
when his wife find out, listen, when his wife find out, he killed both of them, man.
okay. All right.
So
Thank you for that update. Now let's bring in Kidola. Kidola, welcome to the Afridamus report.
Hey, thank Afridamus, man. You see, I said it before. I said this. Look, Africa have to be very, very careful. You understand? You see, in America, they can read all kind of wobbles and walk things. You understand? But in America, you have freedom to be whatever you want to be.
Right.
So that law alone, that what you enjoy alone, is something else. So people can take it to extreme. The Igbos are never Jewish. The Igbos are earth worshippers. They are voodoo worshippers. They worship the trees. They have their own gods they worship, the Okengas, all these things. You understand me? The Igbos were they were never Jewish. They are farmers. It was the missionary who even converted to be Christians. You understand me?
Right.
The Igbos, whatever they are, whatever they call themselves. Look, what your ancestors, what your forefathers worship, that's what you're going to follow. You
So,
understand me?
so, so Kidola, what do you think about, like, because you heard the Hebrew guy saying they got attacked in Ghana, Sierra Leone, even they got arrested. Do you think the Africans would put up with this?
They don't like, yes, no. The Africa will never. This is a total different type of religion that the Africans are seeing, that are very, very aggressive. You know, when they pretend a lot. When they came to Africa, they call themselves Africans. But if the Africans have to go and read their past and follow their past and present, the way they insult Africans, I say Africans sold them, that they are the choosy ones, that the ones in Africa now, those are like the ones who sold them. Those are their enemies.
Right.
You understand me? That's
I have video of that.
Yeah, so that's why I said the Africans have to be very, very careful for these people who pretend to call themselves, oh, brother, where they're not really brothers. They're just there to occupy. They're there to be in Africa to look for their heaven without the Africans who are there not to be there. That's just the truth.
Well, they say Ghana and Nigeria is the you know, those areas are the new promised land.
They will not survive Nigeria. Just the truth.
He said they already have their school there.
Which school? Those are just guys playing. They're just playing to be playing. The other Christians there, that those Christians have too strong faith. The so-called the Catholic and the other feel good, those ones that talk about miracles and everything. Those are too much powerhouse there. To come and say these Hebrews, to Africans or to Nigerians, nobody's buying it. You understand me? Because these people, they are, and the moment their news are coming out that they hate Africans, right?
Right.
These people will be gone. And you have to understand, most of these Nigerians, whoever they say they converted, they also have family who kind of like look at them with one eyes, who does not really believe what they're doing. It's just to tell them, these people hate you. They don't really love you. You understand me? Then they will be gone. You understand me? So it's a Black American thing. It's not really an African. It's not really an West African thing. It's Black Americans who, due to slavery, what happened to them? That's how they read all this, turn this Bible upside down and bring it in. You understand me? Now they live in Egypt or Israel. They're using the same tactics the Jewish people also use. You understand me?
Yeah, Kidola, you're very right, because these people, you know, they are just pretending, you know.
They're pretenders. So they will buy you a land. They buy a land. They start extending it by using the name brothers. Before you know, these people will raise up the sword one that said, "We own here." These are look, in Africa, doesn't mean you buy a land, mean you own the community. You did buy the community. You only buy the land where you build your house.
Right.
They say in Africa, doesn't mean because you buy a land in my village. You see what happened in Lagos? You see the way they attack the Igbos? You understand me? You see the way they attack the Igbos in Lagos? The Yorubas said the Igbo can never be a governor in Lagos State. Lagos belongs to Yoruba. Because the Igbos kind of like leaning towards a guy whose mother is an Igbo woman, but the father is Yoruba. But they play a propaganda. This is where I feel sorry for the Igbos. I said, why did Igbos are not going back to develop their own place? Because they developed Lagos. They attacked the Igbos heavily, destroyed their business. In Lagos.
Yeah. That's so
that the Igbos are buying property in Lagos, thinking, oh, we buy this property here, because actually the people that develop Lagos are the Igbo peoples. But what happened to them? They let them understand, they checkmate them. You don't, just because you buy the land, you want to become a powerful voice in this state. They checkmate them.
Wow, and they kick them out. Okay.
That's what I said. No, they didn't kick them out, but they just checkmate them. Me to say, you buy a land, you didn't buy the community, you didn't buy the culture. You only buy land to build your house and you do business here. They just checkmate them.
Oh, okay. I hear that. Let's bring in Kifaru. Kifaru, welcome to the Afridamus report. Kifaru.
Yeah.
Kifaru, are the Hebrews, did you know that they are claiming to be God's chosen people?
Yeah, actually they are. Actually, we Africans, we are.
Oh, no. We're talking about the Hebrews. So explain.
Yeah.
So you're part of you're the chosen people.
Let me explain.
Okay.
Hebrew, there are many Hebrews. Okay. Some Hebrews don't claim Africans. That I get it. They are not. There's some Hebrews who see Africa as their sire. They are. I think you guys are looking at the wrong Hebrew group. There's some Hebrew groups that are xenophobic to Africa.
Wait, which ones are the wrong Hebrew group? Because this guy is here is the right. He said, are you like familiar with the Hebrew Israelites? You know, its origin is from here, America, right?
Yeah, Afridamus. Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah. So, what I'm saying, there are Hebrew Israelites who are Africans. Hebrew did not start from America. It's not a Black American thing. Hebrew is an African thing. The African Americans, they're just getting that consciousness now. The original Hebrew is an African. It's not even an African American. So when you start trying to make African Americans, yeah. So when you start making African Americans the face of Hebrew Israelites, that is wrong.
But can you show me the African Hebrews?
Well, maybe we'll need to have a special show me and you. I have a lot of documentation, so we can have a one-on-one. I will prove to you everything.
No, what I'm saying.
We're talking about this before, Kifaro. Don't do this, Kifaro.
No,
come on, Kifaro, stop this, Kifaro.
No.
Are you talking about Portuguese and Spanish?
No. See, Hebrew. Sir, there's
so you're talking about
this is what we understand. Now we confuse when to talk about the Israeli and the Israelites. Okay.
No, these are Black Hebrew. Hold on, Kifar. We're talking about Black Hebrew Israelites. These guys from America.
Yeah, we're talking about the Black Hebrew.
We're talking about Black Hebrew Israelites.
Exactly. The Black Hebrew
Israelites. So you're saying they are the chosen people by God.
Yes.
Okay.
Israelites. I don't know why you call them Black Hebrew Israelites.
But that's what they are.
Okay.
No.
Okay, let's get you.
Hold on.
Hebrew Israelites, okay?
Yeah.
Black Hebrew Israelites. It's not only in America. They are not just in America.
We're talking about the Black Hebrew Israelite. Maybe you might know other group. We're not focused on those. We're talking about the real deal here. The ones who, the prophet Gabriel came and spoke to their leader. That's the one. Those are the group we're talking about here.
That may be. What? Okay. How do you reject that they are not? What proof?
I'm not justifying or denying. That's why I want you. Hold on. That's why you are here on the panel with everybody.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not here to prove or not prove.
Because you doubt them.
Huh?
Coming from a point of doubt that they can be.
Okay. So you tell me what makes them the chosen people of God.
Well,
and who decided it? Who decided and where this came from?
Afridamus, let me ask this to Kifaro. Kifaro, prior to the European invasion, and the Arabs, what were you practicing in Cameroon? Yes, nothing to do with Hebrew Israelites or Bantu Israelites or whatever.
Okay.
We had this discussion on your show before. Come on, man. We have.
That's a discussion. You don't really know what I think. Yeah, we just had a discussion.
No, that's a great question. That's a great question. Please answer it.
Yeah. So what did they study? What did they worship? They worship God.
Which God? No. Kifaro, I'll tell you.
What do you mean? They worship God. The Africans, Africans are spiritual people that have always worshipped God. Listen, the God may be the.
No. Kifaro. You are bringing Africans into this. These people, clearly. No. The Hebrews here, the Hebrew Israelites we're talking about. Okay. Did you miss the first beginning?
I know. I've been
the
watching
show.
These people. I probably know who you're talking about. I see.
Okay, did you? But again, those are the people we're talking about here. We've already got the scoop on them. We know their history, right? So now, based on this, we're focused on the real Hebrews here. What makes them the chosen people of God? That's all I'm asking.
Okay.
Afridamus, I just wanted to say that Kifaro doesn't like Black Americans.
Why are you putting words in my mouth, Snake Man? I don't want you to call your father
Because
again
we
on the
had
show,
that
man.
discussion.
Come on. I don't want you to say something to you. You call your father on the show. Listen, don't start telling me who I like.
Before we had that discussion, you called Black Americans weak.
Allow him to explain. Allow him to explain.
Okay.
Go ahead, Kifaru. Tell us
Yes.
what, in your belief, what makes them the chosen people of God.
Well, to speak the truth, I can't say they are or they are not. Okay, they have the belief. If they want to believe they are the chosen people of God, who am I to tell them no?
No,
If I believe I'm the chosen one of God, that's my belief. It's a religion.
Okay, Kifaru, that's what it's not a combat. You came here. You're telling us, right? I mean, you are entitled. Hold on. We're not here to say what it is, like what they believe in or not. You, the outsider looking in, you must have a reason to believe that they are the chosen people of God. So we want to know what your reasoning is.
Okay, you're talking about a belief. You can't prove a belief. So that's a really complex question to ask me to prove a belief.
No, I'm not. No, but you are the one saying this.
Yeah.
So what did you base? What are you basing it off of?
Okay.
My
point.
You're not going to be able to debate it because
my point is no. Let me talk to Afridamus. My point is this, Afridamus. Okay, I can't prove anything that they are, and I can't prove that they are not. You understand? And I don't think anyone can prove it either.
I think I can jump on this.
It's a belief.
A little bit better.
Exactly. That's my point.
So, my brother,
I can prove they're not.
Can I say something, Afridamus?
Do you know what's funny, Afridamus? In Kaiser's channel, he attacks always Judah and also Hebrew Israelite to us that they are deluded, that they cannot do nothing, that they should keep the American stuff in America. I'm always protecting those people, and now here on your channel, oh no, I can't have an opinion.
Snake Man, can I say something?
Stop it, Kifaru.
Snake Man.
So Kifaru, do you believe in their belief system? Oh, sorry, is that Amelka?
Yeah.
Okay, Amelka, you come in next. So you know what? I'll let you go because I'll ask Kifaru something.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
So Kifaru, so you said, so if they say they are they're chosen by God, right? Which do you know which God they are talking about?
Yes, God, the creator of heaven and earth.
Well, people have different. So Kifaru, so you believe that they are prophet. You know about Angel Gabriel, right?
Yeah, I know some Bible fancy stories, some fairy tales in the Bible. Yeah.
Oh, so okay, so you think they are fairy tales?
Yeah, most of religion. Yeah.
Okay, so these people are telling us stories from a book that you're claiming to be fairy tales.
Yes.
But now you're saying, okay, so how do you justify this belief system then?
Okay, you can't justify a belief system.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they just chose themselves and said they are the chosen ones, right?
Yes, that's why they feel.
Okay, that's the point. That's where we were getting at.
Okay. And you can't
because like what you're saying is, like I can be sitting here because I can say, hey, like I'm the best guy ever.
Exactly.
God, I'm the best guy. What is it based off of? Best. Who's choosing? Who is deciding? So if I say I'm the best guy, and then somebody comes
based on what?
Wait, but you see, a rational person would ask that. But if somebody else comes and say, yeah, I mean, yeah, he's the best because he says it. You know what I'm saying? Like I could just be a crazy, egotistical madman, that is just saying these things.
Yeah.
So it's not normal. It's not normal for people to just say things like this.
Okay, yeah. If it's let me come. If you're talking about belief is not a science. You can't prove belief if it's wrong or not. But if you say you are the best person, we can try to assess you on what being the best person, what you say, what you talk about being the best person. You can say you're the best person in maths. We say, okay, we can test you in maths to prove that. There's a science that can actually prove you're the best person in maths. But if I say I believe that my God is wind, there's nothing you can do about it.
No. These people, that's not what we have alone. These people are coming to Africa trying to tell other people, Africans, that we are part of their
Africans
tribe.
know better.
Are you serious?
Okay, let me just get that to my brother.
Hold on. They already have followers in Cameroon.
Exactly. I've seen Africans have there's the Church of Satan in Nigeria. There's everyone is religion. Everyone come to Africa.
Okay,
and
good. So these people are no different than all those other groups, right?
Exactly.
The satanic groups, right?
Exactly. They're not different with them, with the Muslim, with the Christians, with everything. They're all the
They
same.
destroyed the Church of Satan in Nigeria. The man run away.
Well, they still have. They have many denominations in Africa. There's a Jehovah's Witness. There's the Church of Mormon. There's Church of Scientologists. We have everything over there.
Okay, so
why
Kifaru,
are they not destroying the African?
No. Hold on, Kifaru. Now we're talking. See, those religions are coming out as religion, right?
Yeah.
Straight. They're not pretending to say they're, culturally, with the, they're this, bloodline tribes of Africans, and they're not playing
because they are not.
1 minute. Okay, they are not saying they are.
Because
they're not telling. Wait. They're not telling people that they are. What do I call it? They are not religious. They are just spiritual. See, these people. We live here in America. We know. Like, I have been studying these people. Other people have been studying them. What they are saying, we see the BS. I just played a video of their leader.
Yes,
out of his mouth, he said,
of a group
hold on. So they are not the same as though you can compare to a Muslim Christian group, because those people are open. They are saying they are Muslim.
Yeah.
They are not basing it in race, like, preaching hate.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
Have killed many people in Africa than the Hebrew Israelites. They bomb themselves, everything. So you can't really make that as a point.
Again, you truly, it doesn't sound like you even know what we're talking about. You came with your own topic.
Well, if you think like that, that's fine. I can't argue you.
No, because of the way you are responding, I don't think you.
I'm responding
understand.
to you. I understand. I think you don't understand me.
Did you see the video? Did you see the videos?
Yes, I've seen them. I've seen even worse. I've seen them say worse
No.
things.
The videos that I played here. Did you see those?
Okay, I'll need to watch them again.
Exactly, bro. That's what you came here to waste time.
Okay.
That's why you're not on topic. You're wasting time.
Can I just say this? I've seen
you're wasting time.
The Hebrew Israelites say they're not Africans.
But that's not what, brother. Hold on. Kifaru.
Does that all the time, Afridamus.
You came here. You wasted the time. You're not with topic. That's why I said you are out of topic. You don't know what we're talking about. You wasted our time. Go ahead, Amelka.
Yes, let me say this. You see, Afridamus, the Hebrew Israelites, they separate Africans from them, the Black Hebrew Israelites.
Right.
They'll tell you they're Semitic and we are Hamitic.
Right.
And we are going back into slavery when Jesus comes back, or Yeshua. Yeah.
Right.
So what I'm telling you is this: Kifaru is right in what he said. He said it's just a belief. You cannot debate a belief.
Right.
So you should have stopped right there. But the thing that I'm telling you, Afridamus, See, we had our traditional beliefs, the things that we believe, that your ancestors taught you and taught me. You see, that's why I like Kidola. Kidola is a straight shooter. He told you we used to worship trees and stuff like that. Animism, and voodoo. It turned out back for because the Arabs told us that was demonic, and also the Christians. So we turned our back on our ancestors to go and follow their ancestors. That's where we are wrong. We were practicing everything else before they came in.
So their idea, so with these Hebrew Israelites, you've heard the interview and I showed the video, you know, talking about being pretty much saying they are the chosen people with their, you know, Angel Gabriel showing up to their leader in the 60s. This sounds like any other religions we've heard, right?
You have the same with the Mormons, the same thing.
Yeah, but they are selling themselves, you know,
as the chosen people.
As the chosen people, and trying to fake it to say they belong, you know, these other African tribes are Hebrews too.
Nah, listen. What Kidola said is true. You see, in my country,
they're using deception.
Yeah, of course. In my country, it's not going to work either because we have Muslims and Christianity and people that practice our tradition beliefs still until this day. And as you know, we mix the Quran and the Bible with our traditional beliefs. We to tell you the truth, West Africans don't really believe in this Christianity and stuff like that. Really, because you know in the Bible it says that you're not supposed to mix the Bible with your ancient African beliefs.
Yeah.
So I don't know what these people here. Look at what is the other guy's name? Al is a Muslim. Al knows how Islam came into Africa. We were not practicing Islam. That's not our religions. We have our traditional beliefs, our oral beliefs. We turn now back on that to follow their beliefs, their culture.
That's the Hebrew belief. That's the Hebrew. That's what we're talking about.
But there's Islam also, Kifaru. You know that. Islam is the same thing. They're not better than Hebrew Israelites and Christianity. It's all the same shit.
That's why they have to convince you to be saying they are the chosen and everything is black. They are selling the black race.
Yes.
Race
Can you believe Afridamus? They came to Gambia to tell you guys you are Muslims. They came to Guinea-Bissau to tell us we are Muslim and Christians. We never had nothing to do with that religion. Never.
So now the Hebrews are coming. They want to tell you you're Hebrew.
Those are even worse.
Okay. See, I know. Can I just say this? I know. Maybe I'm trying to play the devil's advocate here, but this is the thing. I don't see anything wrong if we can have a religion that identifies people as African. I will subscribe to that religion that's subscribing to Christianity or Islam. That's just my point. If these
good for you. They have their website online. By all means,
I know out there. I've been doing some research about
it. By all means, you know, visit. They will tell you how to join.
Kifaru,
you know enemies. Do you know that are different?
Why don't you practice? Go on, Snake Man. Sorry.
I just wanted to say, Kifaru, I know that you want to carry water for the Hebrew Israelite because you're Pan-Black African. I get it. But the problem is, there are many different sects. There are some sects who believe that Native American are part of the 12 tribes, that Africans are not part of the tribes. So I understand that you like to carry water for other people you do not really understand.
Sandman or Snake Man.
Wait, Kifaru. So
let me just
Kifaru, are you? Let me see, because along the line of Snake Man's question, it sounds like, so are you here to try to defend, to say you are one and the same as the Hebrew Israelites? Like you, is that your angle?
I'm here to say I keep an open mind.
No. What I'm saying, do you think? Wait a minute. Do you as an African? Do you think the Hebrew Israelites that we're talking about, they see you are one and the same as them?
Those no, some yes. It's like sect. They
No,
have different
no,
denominations.
we're talking about what everybody, all of us, like I live here in the States, okay?
I've seen those.
What people see on the internet too, for a fact, 100%. You are not one of them. You are African. They don't accept you. So you are literally embarrassing yourself carrying water for people who literally hate you.
Okay.
You are not seen as one. You're not the same as them.
I'm saying that I am greater than them. They want to be like me. I'm not one
That's
to be
why
like
Ghana destroyed.
But-
That's why those people in Ghana destroyed. That's why those people in Ghana destroyed their property. You see, if you see the way the Ghana came aggressively and destroyed those property and send some boys to start picking their, not just destroy it, pick their teeth and take it away. You see, the Hebrews that I thought they own that property is the center whereby they'll be dancing and eating their fake food there. But with the Ghanaians, look, that land will just be taken away. There's nobody that say, oh, this. It was just the people there, the Cape Coast, the community that took that land away from them and asked them to leave immediately because they don't understand Africa. When the Muslim came, they came with sword. When the Christian came, they came with slave trade. The Africans fought these two religions, right? They now accept this religion. Hebrew Israelites have to come and declare war, which is in this present time, they will send them back to where they're coming from. So what you have to understand, Africa will never accept this Hebrew Israelite. The African tradition, the Christian and the Muslim part of it will never accept them. It's not this in this modern time. The Africans you see now, they were aggressive in the past, they're still aggressive now, and they will look.
I disagree with Kidola, but I will come later.
No, understand, but what you should understand is this: when you don't know a community, you want to come in slowly by deceiving them.
But Kidola, let me ask the panel here. I'll start with Rasmois, then I'll walk down. Rasmois, doesn't it? You live here in the States. You and I, we around this. Does Kidola, what's his name, Kifaru? I know he thinks he's into the Pan-African, black thing. Does he even understand what he's talking about when it comes to the Hebrew Israelite? Does he realize, his position even? Rasmois?
No, Kifaru has no idea what he's talking about. These people are filled with hatred in their heart. What they're doing, what they're doing in Africa is a facade. It's not realistic. Okay, they don't like you.
It's not about me liking them. I don't want you to say people. I don't want people to like me. I'm talking about something bigger than you liking somebody. So
what is big? What can you? What is
what
big?
Exactly
yes. What is big?
I think you
okay.
guys are not
Can I answer? Yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
What's that?
I don't think,
yes.
Talk to me.
Kifaru, what you're saying.
No, wait. Let him explain, Amilcar. Let him
okay,
explain.
okay.
Let's let him explain it.
What is big?
That big thing?
What is big is the belief of self. Okay, is that awareness of actually who you are. It's not about Hebrew Israelites. There are many Hebrew Israelite groups. Some of them hate Africans. I understand. Some Hebrew Israelites don't hate Africans, but we are confused because they call all themselves Hebrew Israelites. So we should not be using one group and to demonize the other.
Hold on. How is an African gonna get self-awareness from Hebrew Israelite ideology? Explain that to me.
Great question.
Okay.
Yeah, great question.
God damn.
So to answer your question, I just want to make sure I understand what you're trying to say. So according to you, you're saying the Hebrew Israelites are going to Africa to make them aware of self. Is that what
No. Your own words. You had the chance to explain. You said it's bigger, and you said you talked about awareness. I said, explain to me what part of the Hebrew Israelite ideology.
Okay. The Hebrew Israelite
shows Africans about self. Explain that.
Yeah. The Hebrew Israelites I'm talking about, okay, they've actually proven that the Garden of Eden is found in Congo. And the first Bible was given by Tatanzambe. And the Europeans, they came into Africa and they took these great teachings of us and plagiarized it and created it into the Bible.
Who gave them the Bible?
Tatanzambe, the creator.
Where is that Bible?
The first Adam. The first
Where
Adam.
is that?
True. Where's that Bible?
Yes, it is. It is somewhere. You know, it has been.
Okay. So okay.
Yeah, come on.
How is this? Explain to me, how is this Hebrew Israelitism
Thank you. Okay.
leading to African self-awareness?
Okay.
Well, let's forget about your Tata Zambi. We're not talking about the African one. We're talking about the Hebrew Israelites, the Black Hebrew Israelites.
in America,
That's what
the ones in America.
I'm telling you, they can't tell me. They can't tell
Tell me about Kifaru. You're confused. We're not talking about your Tata Zambi. We're talking about Black Hebrew Israelites. You are the one saying that it is bigger.
Yes.
Right? It is bigger. So, and it would bring awareness. So far, you're having a hard time bringing those two connections. So let's forget about Tata Zambi and his group, right?
Yeah.
Focus on these Hebrews, because they don't think Congo is the promised land. They think Israel is the promised land. So Jerusalem. But continue, tell us.
Okay. These Hebrew Israelites, they can't create awareness to Africa. The Hebrews that are in Africa have to create the awareness for the Africans themselves.
No, not have to. What part of their ideology, what they are talking about, is going to help elevate African and make them aware of who Africans are.
Don't forget, Kifao. America. America. Stop the African shit.
Okay. So I just want to make sure we are not talking about two different groups, okay? You understand? Because, like, for example, I want to give an example before I answer your question. Like the Anglican Church in England and the one in Africa, they've separated, but people don't know. But they call all them Anglican Church. The ones in Africa, they separated because they don't want to ordain homosexuals or lesbians as priests, but they are still Anglican Church. You understand? So if I say that Hebrews, it does not mean they're all the same. So you're asking me to talk about some people.
Kifaru, hold on. Kifaru. I wanted to give you the chance. No disrespect, but you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You really don't even know anything about Hebrews. These Hebrew Israelites we're talking about. Like, you are just all over the place. I have no idea.
That's how you understand it.
No. You and I, we are not on the same topic.
Exactly.
I asked you a simple question, and you are all over the place. Go ahead, Nailade.
Afridamus, Kifaru is a newly convert to Hebrew Israelites. That's why he's defending.
Is that what you call to ask? Just answer the question. Don't talk about.
But Kifaru doesn't know his tribe. He doesn't know his tribe in Cameroon.
My Lord, talk about the question. Don't talk about Kifaru. This shows.
Afridamus, let me tell you a story. You know where Kifaru got the. Okay, you know where Kifaru got the whole Congo is Eden, and the first Adam was from Congo story. He got it from a Hebrew Israelite that he invited on his channel. I think he was a pastor, and he converted Kifaru. That's why Kifaru is defending them on the stream. He's a newly convert.
Oh my God, this is
Hold on. I can second that, Nylord. I can second that, because when we were talking about some black Americans, he was shitting on them, especially the man, and was praising the black woman with their feminism, and he said, "Oh, the black American should become like the Hebrew Israelite."
Yeah, but Snake Man, this guy that is following is not a black American.
Amilcar.
He's an African.
Amilcar, you were there, weren't you?
I know.
Yeah.
Amilcar,
yeah, go on.
Afridamus, Amilcar is my witness. He was there on that stream when Kifaru converted. That's where Kifaru got the first man,
Answer
the first Adam was from Congo.
You're fond of that.
Kifaru, why did you say you're just being a devil's advocate?
Hold on. So, guys, this is it doesn't look like we're on the same page with Kifaru. He's not with the topic. He wants to talk about Congo being the Garden of Eden, and so maybe we'll do another topic on that one. But as far as this one, we are we don't want to confuse ourselves. Let's stick with Jerusalem and Ghana and Nigeria for now.
Yeah.
We'll discover the But
I
thank you,
won't address
Kifaru.
Kifaru anymore. I won't address Kifaru anymore. But just to answer his question, look, there's nothing wrong with believing in whatever God you want. Like, you can create your own God tomorrow. You can worship him. No one cares. Where people care is when you start claiming somebody else's ethnic group or identity, and then you call those other people fakes. And not only that, you call those other people fakes and devils, etc., etc. And then you say you are them. Of course, people are going to care at that point. You're literally calling every Semitic group out there devils, and that you are the real Semite. Why wouldn't people care when you're challenging the identity? If someone challenged your Africanness, wouldn't you get offended? Why aren't the Semites allowed to get offended?
Yes.
So yeah, of course it's problematic when you're challenging.
But Nilo, not only that, he defends people who literally say, oh, all your history, your ancestry, all fake, all given by the white man. That is, we are the original one. That what we practice is the original African culture. That what you practice is a lie.
Yeah, that is a big problem.
Afridamus, you know there's
we have a
videos
lot
of
of
these
man-made
Hebrew
religion
Israelites.
in Africa. A lot of man-made
So
religion.
there's videos of these. Okay, there's videos of these Hebrew Israelites on, you know, in America when they're on the streets preaching.
Oh, I have those. I have some of those videos. I was.
Whenever they
In
see
fact, I'll
people
do one of
from-
them.
Yeah. Whenever have you seen how they react when they see people from a group they don't like, or from a group that they are trying to claim the identity of?
I've seen
start
them
almost
in
getting
real
violent.
life.
They start insulting them. Even like there was one way, I think the guy saw like an Eritrean and a Somali. Started saying, "You devils, you are not the real people of the Bible. It's us." Like, why wouldn't people get offended when you're directly attacking them? If you're just praying to a normal God, no one would turn an eye, no one would care. But now you're calling other people devils. Of course they would care.
Well, that's why I said, you know, Kifaru have no clue about what we are talking about here, because if any African who believes that they can join the Hebrew Israelite group, and what they are doing, you're mentally ill. Something is mentally wrong with you.
Same thing
Because if you hold on, let me finish. If you go and stand, literally, imagine a person, you're standing on the side of the road. If you believe in what you believe in, just believe in it. But you're shouting obscenities, shouting hate at other people, like, I don't know. And like in Africa, that's called mental illness. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're right. And
That's
let me tell you
mental.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Afridamus, see, but what Kifaru is doing is separating himself from the American Hebrew Israelites. So that's why.
Yeah, but those are the ones we're talking about. He's not his voice.
He's not on topic.
Yeah, he's not on topic.
But he
That's what
always
I'm
does
saying.
that, Afridamus. Every time.
Yeah,
we
he's
talk
not on
about-
topic.
No, Afridamus, you must knowledge that every time we talk about America, he doesn't want to talk about it because he doesn't.
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. He brings these other things. Those are not important. Those are other groups. Those are the imposters. Impostoring the imposters. Because they are. Why would I be talking about some African who is following the Hebrew Israelites, thinking he is that? Why would I, pay attention to them when I can just, listen to the real Hebrews and gather information? He has no idea about the Hebrews. He's not even accepted in that group. He's a Hamite, according to them.
Yeah, and
Not
the
only
real
that, he
Jews,
follows
the real Jews, the real Hebrews, they are winning. They have all the banks, all these things. And these real Hebrews, the Black Hebrew Israelites, they claim to be the real ones. They are only suffering. And then, Afridamus, as soon as if you tell a Black American, Hebrew Israelite, take a DNA test, they start moonwalking because they know nothing is going to point them to Israel. It's going to be West Africa all the way.
Yeah, this is this is.
No, we don't believe in that. That's the white man's teaching. While you teach from the Bible, given to you by the white man. These people are completely lost. I'm telling you.
Yeah, especially if you come all the way from Africa and buy into this. Like, I don't think this guy have actually met real Hebrew Israelites before. in real life? I don't think so, because
but
if he meets them here truly in the States,
He had a pastor
would
on
be.
his stream.
Yeah, let me read that.
He had a
He said, hold on, let me
he
read
had
this. Acadia, thank you for the super chat. He said, they all believe that the Jews stole their identity, even though we can trace them back 2,000 years through their occupation, merchants, and lenders, even in Babylon. Exactly. But according to them, their identity was stolen. No, like Snake Man said, I picked up on that fact. That's why I wanted, Ras Moise to explain about what I'm saying here about the Hebrews. Rasmus, did you pick up that he didn't understand? We're not on the same topic.
Yeah, he was just just saying a bunch of things that didn't even make any sense. Like in other words, it was just babbling.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what he's talking about, because I know the Hebrews. I used to live in New York, like even in Tennessee, like where I'm at in Tennessee, like these people are always hollering.
Right.
They're always hollering. They always want to ask you questions. Even when you're walking, you pass by them, like like they're yelling scripture, and then they want to stop you, asking you questions. Oh, where are you from? One of those things that truly bothers me, when I encounter these people, they said that the Haitians are from the tribe of Levi. Me knowing Haitian people, I'm a Haitian myself. The Haitians are perhaps the most African mixed people in the Americas. What I mean by that is Haitians are a mixture of different African group of people. So there's no way in hell you can tell me we came from one tribe in Israel. We are mixed. We are very mixed people. So we out the question. So we're not Hebrew Israelite. We came from different African tribes. So we out of there. The reason why they said that the Haitians are from the tribe of Levi is because that we practice Vodun. We get Vodun from the Fon people that live in Benin. From the Ewe people, from the Ga, from the Yoruba people that practice Ife. That's where we get our Vodun, and it's not even authentic, because it's a mixture of these different tribal spirituality. Because we practice that, and then in their Bible they say that, oh, Simeon and Levi, like they are the sort some kind of stupid stuff they said, so that way they can say, oh man, the Haitians and the Dominicans, they are brethren, they are brothers. Dominicans are not even the same as Haitians. Dominicans are the most mixed people in the America. When I mean mixed, I mean like they are mixed. They're mixed with everybody, every race. Mexicans are mixed with every race.
Mexicans are one of the Hebrew tribes.
Listen,
they're one of the Hebrew tribes.
Colombians, Native Americans.
According to them,
people from Argentina.
Can I explain the Hebrew Israelites? Can I explain them?
Hold on a second. Hold on. Listen, they even say people from Argentina are from the tribe, are one of the tribe of Israelite.
Right.
People from Argentina are the whitest people in the Americas. They are white.
I just wanted to say, are they not from German stock?
Yes, Germany, the ex-Nazis that migrated.
Exactly. Yep. Most people from Argentina are German and Italian. So how are they Israelite, but yet you hate white people? But yet you have different group of white people, different group of white people from different white stock, part of the tribe of Israel. What sense does that make?
And they don't claim Africa. That's why they
claim Africa.
Let me just jump in this. It's just, it goes back to Pharaoh, and it goes back to the pyramids. So, and the Lord made us out of all tribes. I mean, like Africans, Asians, and whatnot. Tribes. Israelites was a tribe, 12 tribes, but they got enslaved by the Pharaoh. That's the thing. So it goes back. See, when they're talking about Africa, yes, it did happen in Africa. Yes, they were from that place, but they got enslaved. That's what the Bible says. That's what the Quran says. And
my friend, stop lying. Stop lying.
Hold on a second. Hold on. I'm not.
Stop
Let me
lying.
finish
Stop
my point.
lying. Your
Let me
people,
finish my point.
the
Brother.
people that sold you
I
from,
could be
if they're
lying
still
and I
in
could be telling you the truth.
they're still in
But brother,
Calabar,
hold on a
they're
second.
still in Akwa Ibom, they're still in Igbo land.
Hold on a second.
All
Let
the
me.
way from
I could
Igbo
be
State
lying
to
and I
Akwa
could be
Ibom
telling
there.
you the
Stop
truth.
lying.
I could be lying and I could be telling you the truth. So stop. Let
No
me just
truth.
finish
You don't
my
say the
point.
truth for
Then
anything.
jump on that afterwards. Just let me make my point. Then jump on that. But brother, so you know when you go, that's that's the frame of a reference. That's what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm actually believe. The frame of a reference. Where does it come from? Where it so yes, it goes back. Then these other things, the secular things and the sex and the other things that have changed and with other it's a universal thing, really. But coming back to Africa itself and the Hebrews, dude, East Africa has a Falasha and a tribe called a Falasha and another tribe that is called a Yibra. They're both Jew. They both deal with the same shit. They
Well, the blacks should go over there.
Yeah, he has
they
nothing to
don't
do
read
with
the
us.
same
Why are
shit
they
the same
coming to
way.
Nigeria, man? They should have gone over there.
Nigerians are Hebrews, sir.
What's
Mike, Mike, are you running away from your people?
The Falashas and the Yibras.
Hold on, let me read this real quick. Jah said, let me explain the Hebrew Israelite doctrine. Jah, thank you for the super chat. But Jah, we already learned it straight from the horse's mouth, the Hebrew leader themselves. I played that video here. We are not
Afridamus, let me
confused
just say
about
this.
I don't know why people are coming up to speak for
Afridamus,
them when we already heard
let me
from.
just say,
No, it's not the Hebrew
how
leader,
is
it's the
Jah,
bishop.
how is Jah gonna explain to us, we Africans, for West
I know.
Africa? How is he gonna come and explain to us that we are Hebrew Israelites? So we should forget all our traditional beliefs. Just throw them away. Just be Muslims, be everything but what you are. That doesn't make any sense. That's why I get so pissed with these people. You never been to Africa even. And I like Jah, but you need to stop this foolishness. We don't practice that bullshit things that you guys practice over there, Hebrew Israelites. Huh? Come on, man. We are West Africans. Voodoo, animism, we have our traditional beliefs, our oral traditions. It has nothing to do with Christianity or Islam. Get rid of it. If you want to convert. But don't tell us we are what you want us to be. We're not that. That's it.
The problem here is this: is they have one particular view about Africa. Africa is big. Let's just say the western part. The history. These people that claim Hebrew is whatever they call themselves now. They should come and understand that the legacy of slave trade, what took them over to the other side, whoever sold them, whatever happened to them, the trace is still in Ghana, the trace is still in Nigeria. There's a tribe in Igbo land called the Osu tribe. The Osu tribe were just running for slave catchers. But now in that Igbo land, even those people who run to the gods of those Ikenga and other places are not allowed to marry those people. They call them the untouchable.
Untouchable.
The untouchable. So none of those people were like not touchable. They were touchable. But what happened to those people that you see when slave traders or slave catchers are raiding a village, these catchers sometimes get scared of these their voodoo gods. And this voodoo gods sometimes in their market square. So this community will run to those gods called Ikega. They will seek a refuge there. So these slave catchers were not able to go there. You understand me? To catch these people. So these people started gathering in that community. That's why those names come Osu. Osu like people that run to the gods. You understand
Right.
me? This thing happened during the slave trade. Before they were never there. They can even catch you when you go into your farm. If you're not strong enough to defeat
They will
them,
take you out.
they will take you out. You understand me?
Hold on, let me read this. What Jah said. You all misconstrued their doctrine. Give me 5 minutes to explain Afridamus. Hebrew Israelites started in Africa. Jah, you're completely wrong. Their leader, I'm talking their own leader. All of you heard it. Sir, you cannot know more than the leader.
So
He's never been to Africa, but now Jah is telling us from Africa that
Afridamus, you see now, not those ones that on the street. those ones that live in Israel that the Israel people want to kick out, those set of black Americans that went to Israel, you understand me? Then because they're getting hit, because Israel
They are
deported
coming
them
back to
slowly.
Ghana. They want
Yeah,
to come back to Ghana,
Israel
and
deported them
that's why they
slowly.
said the airway people, the Ashantis, they are all Hebrews,
Yeah, because
and
Israel
the
deported
See
them.
Yorubas are Hebrew
Ashanti.
too.
See
Yeah,
Ashanti.
No,
yeah.
you cannot compare about the Yorubas. Let me just tell you, because the Israel part deported them slowly, but not at once. One by one, they take about 10 or 20 out. You say, oh, you don't have a resident permit to be here. So what they're doing, because they're using a pattern system. They say, oh, we're all Africans, but under that we're all Africans, they buy piece of land. And I see them in Ghana a lot. In Nigeria, you cannot just come and buy a piece of land. These people will not survive Nigeria. Yes, but in Ghana, because Ghana is looking for money, I don't understand why.
Let's have Niai chime in. He's Ghanaian.
Yeah.
Niai, are you there? Unmute yourself. Niai, are you there? Oh, I don't know what happened to him.
So when you see in Ghana, they'll say shalom. A darker person says shalom. Why you're not the Jewish people, these people that are there, those are the real Jewish people. They know their heritage, they know what they were worshiping. They're the one there. The people that live in Tel Aviv, in Jerusalem, the real Jewish people are the one who occupy Jewish.
Well, the blacks are saying no, they are the real ones. But let's bring Mike in. Mike hasn't said anything, and Alan Blue too. We'll do one more round and we'll close out. Mike, what's with the thing, Mike? Your brother is a Hebrew Israelite. What do you think about the Hebrew Israelites in Nigeria?
I think this FBA Hebrew Israelites and their Black British Hebrew Israelite Kifaru cousin named Kifaru. I think they're coming late to Nigeria. Nigerians are waking up to realizing how the Islams and the Christians came to trick them. So they are trying to go back to their original religion. Now this one are now coming now. They're coming late, man. They should have came maybe 50 years ago.
Is this the one? Just said there's no leader of Hebrew Israelites. Sir, that's why I say you don't know Hebrew Israelites then. This is the first Hebrew Israelite was Mama Kimpa Vinta of the Kingdom of Congo. Oh God.
So why
don't you go to
Congo?
Oh,
who cares who the first moron was? Who cares?
Oh,
it's not the argument.
So he's a follower of the Black Hebrew Israelite of Congo.
Yeah. So Al, are you there? No, Al couldn't be there because Al, there's no way Al would be quiet.
Who cares who the first Mumu was? Who cares, man? What we are telling you is
Al, are you
there? The whole thing is rubbish.
But
I wanted to add
you see how these guys work, huh? They want us to forget our traditional beliefs, our ancestors, to go and praise their ancestors, huh?
Exactly.
In Israel and in Arabia, but not our ancestor. We have to turn our backs because all that we were taught is wrong according to them. We don't know nothing. We are just some dumb Africans. You understand? And every African, all these Muslim, all should know better too. That's not, you're not an Arab. Why are you following Muslims?
Al, are you there?
Wakanda woman is an Hebrew Israelite.
Who?
Wakanda woman. You know that woman called Wakanda?
Oh, Wakandan queen?
Yeah, she's a Hebrew she's this black Hebrew Israelite also.
Yeah.
Her friend Samantha, also Hebrew Israelite also.
Which one?
Her friend Samantha, the lady's always sitting down, is always there also. See,
Yeah.
these people, but one thing about some of the women married to they married some men that they converted into this set also. Like the other woman,
the weak men, they are very weak.
Yeah, they married to a Nigerian man. I think possibility maybe convert the guy to be say I'm Jewish. You understand me? You know why they say the Igbos sometimes think they are Jewish? Because the Igbos are wanderers. They move everywhere in Nigeria. You understand me? They never really be in their own place. You understand me? So when the Igbos, so that's why some Igbos think, oh, we are Jews because they can just move from their own place to other man's land and want to dominate those areas. You understand? Mike, you can say sorry about that. What really happened in Lagos? But if you check the Igbo land, you will never see actually a Yoruba man really there like that. There are very, very few. If they're even there. Then when you want to buy a land for an Igbo man, he will tell you, "Let me consult my God."
You know, Kidola, the other day I saw a video of what is it called? A picture of Namde Kanu, you know, with his Hebrew, you know,
Aha, that
with
is with Hebrew kind of cap on his head. You
yes,
understand me?
yes,
Yeah,
the yarmulke.
that's why. You see, that is with the problem. That's why Igbo people sort of face a very big problem also in Nigeria. You cannot go and live in their place. They are very hostile. You can't buy land in their place. You as a foreigner, they are very, very hostile. You
Man,
understand me?
you
They will
talking
tell
shit,
you,
man. You talking shit. Why you talking shit?
I'm not talking shit. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. But they
Man, you
came to
talk. No,
Lagos.
all you doing is just talking bad, man. Just
They,
talking
they came
shit.
to they came to Lagos.
Garbage.
They came to Lagos. They want to dominate Lagos. That's why the Yorubas checkmate them. You understand me? So you that want to talk Hebrew Israelite, you will not survive one beat in Nigeria. They will chase you out. They will chase you out with every miss. You said Hebrew Israelites have no space. Nigeria doesn't beg for money. Nigeria don't ask for money. So don't come and think, oh, I'm coming to Lagos or coming to Nigeria to come and succeed. Just
Word team.
they will chase you out. Hold down your
Oh,
shit in America. You can go to Ghana, but don't come to Nigeria. You will not survive in Nigeria.
all
One
right,
hand they will look
guys,
at you, the other day you
guys,
gone.
guys,
Nigerian pirates.
let's do our closings here. All right, Shashi, go ahead. Closing statement.
Greetings, greetings, my brothers. Forgive me if I at least offended somebody or not. But anyways, I was just going to say that it's a false prophecy. So I definitely think that really, the Bible has to do a lot because they're just quoting from the Bible, either Deuteronomy or whatever that is,
Yeah, Deuteronomy.
yeah. So that has to do a lot. So it's not with the Black Americans itself. It's just a confused group. It's a cult, and they're trying to push that. And earlier they pushed it in the '70s, and they got a land in Israel. So I think right now it's confusion all the way. You know what I mean? But there are original Hebrews in Africa that read the old Torah in their own language, and but they're small minorities. We don't never hear about them or not. So all I'm saying is let's not give attention to those guys that call us heathens or bad things, right? And create bad things on the streets, actually in public. So and all I'm trying to conclude this to say, we're all one, and we all should strive for being a good
All right.
African.
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you, Shashi. All right. That was Sashi. All right. Let's have Snake Man. Go ahead, Snake Man.
I personally don't have much to say about
Wait.
Hebrews.
Afridamus, Ja wants to explain something to you. Give him a link. Let him come and explain it to
Look,
you.
no, I really, it's almost 3 hours. I need to
No
catch
problem.
something.
I
So,
was just trying to see what he's really.
no, he said he wants to explain the doctrine. We've already,
Okay.
played videos of the people who are, the
Okay. So
authorities.
his view
Who
is
are
not
the,
important. Okay, I
who,
get
yeah,
it.
who are the authority? Like, Jai is just some internet warrior who thinks he's Hebrew. Like, he's saying the authorities don't know. So at that point, what can I say to him? He's talking about the uh, the Congo Bible that his
Ah.
buddy Kifaru brought here.
Oh, it's
So
gonna
these
be another
people,
Kiparu. I get it.
yeah,
I get it.
they just want to, they derail the conversation. Like, we're not talking about Congo. We're talking about Black Hebrew Israelites.
Afridamus, in entire Africa, there's less than 1% of Judaism. Judaism, huh? Let alone Hebrew Israelites. That's not our culture.
Right.
Jah can do whatever he want to do, but it's not going to work here. Jah, take that to I don't know where, to Brooklyn or whatever, where you guys, to Harlem. That's where you guys started that nonsense. Keep it there. And the ones who come to Africa, they're gonna get chased out really quick. We are already dealing with Islam and Christianity, also bullshit, both of them. But okay, but don't bring that Hebrew Israelite nonsense to us.
Yeah, and they're trying to tell us that it's like their heaven is in Congo. Like, what the hell is wrong with these people, man? There's something
Come
wrong
on, man.
with some of these people. But let Snake Man finish his closing statement. Go ahead, Snake Man.
I just wanted to say, personally, I have no beef. I don't really care about Sam. I only care about Sam when they start talking shit about our history, our ancestors. And I just want to answer this with one question. If we all were Hebrew Israelite, all of Africa, we were all coming, we were all the small heads, we went to pray, we all spoke old Aramaic like that. Where's the facts? Where's the buildings? Where's the scriptures? Where's the culture, tradition around it? Where is it? There's nothing.
Exactly.
Because there was never nothing. There may be some outsiders who came from North Africa who were perhaps Hebrew or Jewish. But this is a very, very small population who never had something to do, who never had power in any kind of form or way, especially in West Africa. I don't get it.
So do you see them in Germany?
No. Maybe till now I never saw them in Germany, because Germany has a very, because of the mustache man, has a very strict law of you're not allowed to preach hatred, race hatred. If they catch you, they throw you in jail. So that might be the reason why they did not spread here.
All right. Well, thank you for coming, Snake Man. Thank you very much. All right. That was Snake Man. All right. Let's get Mike closing statement, Mike.
Afridamus, let me tell you the real goal of these Black Hebrew Israelite guys, these FBA guys. This is their goal. It's been the same from the beginning of time. It's the same tactic, the same pattern. They want to create a religion to create an empire. This guy's goal is to create one big black family and maybe include some few Indian race or Mexicans and rule over them. FBA men will rule over them. You understand? What is big black American men are trying to do? Now, I'm not saying all black, this group of Israelites is to become relevant in this world, become these emperors. You understand? So that's why you will see them when they're talking about these 12 tribes, right? They will call the Asians Levi, call the Mexicans some other names, and then they will call themselves the Judah. The tribe of Judah, according to this thing, is the leading tribe, the head of the rest of the tribes, right? The superior tribe.
Isn't the tribe of Judah from Cameroon? The Cameroonian
No. The Black American was no. If you look at their third tribe, they would say the African American man.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah.
No. They would say. I'm just telling you. You got to read. You got to look deep. They would say that.
Mike. We know. Yeah.
They would call them. They would say the Black Americans the tribe of Judah, and then the Jamaicans are some. I think the Jamaicans in essence rank or something.
And the Haitians.
The Haitians come third, and then the Mexicans. They're already doing the ranking, so they already suggest to you that these guys are just trying to create this big black family, and few Mexicans are joining.
And the Africans are the Hamites, because they say if they win, that means Africans are the slaves.
Africans are the slaves. You can see the game they play. We all know their end goal, but first of all, these guys are stupid. You can't. You want to do the same thing. When Islam did it, they use weapons, they use warfare. You don't have the means. It's not by tricking, by war, you end up achieving your conquest. You have to go to some type of war to make it happen. You can't trick people into conquering them. It doesn't work like that. And that's been the history of all these religions too. Then the way Christianity, Islam, they all started. It's always one.
All right, I don't know what happened, but thank you for calling.
Sorry, a call came here. I had a phone call. I had a phone call. That's why. So if you study history of even Christianity, all this religion never is.
All right, Mike. Thank you. All right. Go ahead, Amelka. Closing
statement. Let me do my closing something. Amelka.
Go ahead, Kiddo.
Amelka.
Yes, sir.
You live in Holland, right?
Yes.
In Holland, did the Black America, did the Dutch people regard Did they have special preference for Black Americans, or they just see everybody as Africans?
They see everybody as Africans.
Thank you very much. Because you know what I'm saying?
Until you open your mouth, and then they
that's
probably
good.
will hear the difference. But they see everybody as Africans.
And they don't freak out just because you're an American. They see you as very important, right?
No.
What America? The best blacks don't get special treatment there?
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this, Afridamus. See, most Europeans, from what I know, they don't even like Americans. When I say Americans, I'm not.
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
You see, so they include the Black Americans as soon as they know they're the Black Americans, because Americans are very loud. They think they're better than everybody. Yeah, they talk the loudest and stuff like that. So you see, Dutch people are more reserved. They don't like that.
But you know, America, the problem is the Black Americans are like, in a way, they don't realize that they are being traitors to America. Because when the way American in general is treated outside, it's not seen as black or white. It's just lumped in. So they think they are their own people, different from American, you know, but everybody knows the truth. This is what's crazy about the whole thing.
You know why?
I don't think they understand.
You know why it's America? Because of Nakmizi. You understand me? Because of Nakmizi, because
that's my brother.
He's always bombasted about special Black America. Because in Holland, they don't. Dutch people don't even give a damn about if you're Black American at all. No, they just see you. Because the Dutch people are they're business-minded people. They're traders. You understand me? Once there's money, they will go there. So
exactly.
You know, that's just what they are. You know, I married one here. You know, I know what it is.
Yeah.
So let me close this. See, Africans have to be very, very careful who they allow into their country. And I think Ghana kind of opened the door wide and make it publicly. That's what these people are coming out publicly. You start hearing shalom out of their mouth. They should go back every time that is somebody else's identity. Why you want to if why you take somebody else's identity? The people identity are the Israelites, the Netanyahu's. These are the real Jews. They live in Israel there. These are people who know these are people who know they are real people, who know who they are, and they see discovering things about themselves. That's what you see. They can go to some certain areas and dig a ground and find their ancestors' things there. I never seen a black man who could say, "Oh, let me go and dig the ground."
But Kidola, what do you think about what Kifaru said? He thinks he's a Hebrew too.
Kifaru mix Pan-Africanism into this court. You understand me? Because he's Pan-Africa. He think, oh, Pan-Africa, this will go the same way. My brother, this did not go the same way. Because you see, the land they took for those people, not just because they didn't pay their dues or whatever, they just took it away from them because they don't like what they were doing there. That's just the truth. They don't know the religion. They don't trust these people. Things are happening there. You understand me? And if you check, they are the one buy most land in Ghana. Some of these open spaces in the jungle or some of these bush places. They're not going there to buy big land. They will start dividing it among themselves. I think few are in Gambia. You understand me? Also, coming under the name we're all Africans. But
in Gambia, they're not gonna play the Hebrew game. Those
because the majority, but deep inside their mind, they want to spread and want to. They say they were slave Africans who are Africans right now. They say they were enslaved them. So they will ask you in the street, even if I've watched most of their video, they will tell the African person to be on his knee, bow down for me. I'm like, whoa, they're very aggressive.
Yeah, I have some videos I'll actually do here, but Kidola, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much for allowing me to be your partner. God bless, man.
Thank you very
God bless you, bro.
All right,
yeah, God bless you, Kidola. Thanks.
All right, go ahead, Amilcar.
Yeah. So, Afridamus, these people will not last in Africa. I'm telling you. You know, we have a small percentage of them coming in. But as you see, even Ghana, everybody's telling that Ghana is going to let them in and stuff like that. The Ghanaians, they just want that money. When the money runs out, this Hebrew Israelite thing is gonna end. In Africa, it's not.
But the Hebrew Israelites don't even have money, to be honest.
So it's going to be even a bigger problem. I'm just telling Africans, you have your traditional beliefs. That is what you should follow. Why are you following Arabs? Why are you following Hebrew Israelites? Why are you following Christianity? That's not ours. It just came in because we were conquered, we were beaten. That's it. Why are you going? Why are you accepting these foreign religions? It has nothing to do with you. You praising now their ancestors, not yours. I don't, Afridamus, but I don't understand it. I just don't get it. I don't. Africans
it's just
have
that
become so.
it's the American craziness.
Yeah, but it's the Africans as well.
Well, yeah. Well, Kifaru said he's Hebrew. He doesn't know his tribe in Africa.
Afridamus, Kifaru is a diplomat. Kifaru always does this. Kifaru doesn't listen. Kifaru believes in technology before anything else. I'm telling you, he's just playing the game.
Look, really. Whatever his belief is, I wouldn't call that diplomacy, but all right.
Yeah, that's all I want to say. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thank you, no problem. Thanks for calling. All right.
Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, Rasmus, you got the last saying, man.
Yes, sir. Afridamus, first and foremost, man, I want to thank you for allowing me to be on your show today. Brother, listen, according to DNA analysis, Black American, their Y chromosome is non-African. So, they're always stating that, okay, you are who your father is.
Right.
So, because we all know what happened during slavery, and it's very unfortunate, but it happens anyway. Just because you are dark skinned, that don't mean you are an African. Right. If your haplogroup or your Y chromosome is not of any African lineage, you're not an African. You may appear to look black, but you're not really black. So if they are saying you are who your father is, and then according to DNA, 40% Black American, especially the men, you don't have an African Y chromosome. And then why are you saying that you are a Hebrew Israelite?
It's a good question.
The haplogroup of the people in the Middle East is the J haplogroup. Most Black Americans, they don't have a J haplogroup. Some of them have E1B1A. Some of them have EB1B. Some of them have the G haplogroup, and some of them have the R haplogroup, the A haplogroup. So why are you saying that you are something that you are not?
That's it.
If you can prove to me that you are an Hebrew Israelite, you have to match the haplogroup with the people that are in the Middle East today. Most of the people in the Middle East,
they say those people are fake. They are the real deal.
Nah, listen, these people are crazy. They are crazy. And also, I want to say this: these people are a threat to African society. I said it before earlier in the stream. They are really a threat. I really like what Ghana did. I'm glad that Ghana destroyed that little shack they were building.
Right.
These people are going to indoctrinate your children.
Well, look at they're indoctrinating some of the man children. They indoctrinated Kifaru already.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So
and Kifaru is a good guy. He knows his tribe. He knows that the Sawa people in Cameroon, they don't practice stuff like that. They don't practice Hebrew Israelite. So I don't understand.
He'll be the first one to go open the school there.
That's what I'm saying.
Brasmo is the crazy thing. Like when I was a kid growing up, sometimes they would have we'll have some African who went to this European country somewhere, mostly it's like Italy, Spain, those areas. Years later, they come back with some weird ideologies. I've seen this before. So the reason why I'm laughing, because Kifaru is in Italy. I wonder if that's like a thing, because I remember a guy years ago. He came, he's a Gambian, but he went, I think he lived in Greece, then Italy. He came back with some weird ideologies, like a Christian sect. He used to try to spread that, and they just look at him like a crazy man. So,
but guess what? Even within their sects, they have different ideology. For instance, they always say that the Mende people. I mean, I'm talking about the Manding speaking people, like the Sonenke, like the Mandinka and the Jahanka, like the Kasonke people, they would say that these people came from the tribe of Gad. It's ridiculous to me. Now they are saying because some of them are taking their DNA test and then they found out their tribe in Africa, immediately they want to link that tribe to to one of the tribe of Israel.
Nah,
I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is just it's just getting
it's getting worse. Like for instance, right? I took my DNA test, and then it linked me to the Hausa people on my father's side. Paternally, I'm a Hausa, right? Now they're saying that the Hausa is from the tribe of Issachar, one of the tribe of Israel. Just imagine me not knowing too much about the Hausa culture. I'm learning now. Just imagine me if I go to northern Nigeria, if I go to Kano, one of those Hausa city, and then I'll go in the street and preaching to the Hausa people. Listen, you've been practicing the one religion. Allah is a false god. Muhammad is not a prophet. They will cut off my head the very same day.
Exactly. See, they are setting a dangerous precedent for even this confused hoteps. But thank you very much,
Yeah,
Rasmus, for calling
not a
in.
problem.
All
Anytime.
Right.
Thank you, Afridamus.
All right. Peace. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it was an early show, as you guys know. So it's like 3 hours. Unbelievable, but it's a great show overall. I want to thank all the viewers. Guys, if you haven't already hit that like so it can spread and the message can spread. Let me see what Nat Turner is saying here. Nat Turner is like, why are the black foreigners so obsessed with FBA? FBA is not even real, Nat Turner. It's a fake organization, set up by a fake pimp and a fake race hustler. Get it real. And the sick part is Nat Turner is a grown-ass man. He is a grown-ass man following another grown-ass man on the internet who just created some tribe. And he really thinks this is real. He said it's because we FBA are native to the USA, because we built it. You are trying to connect yourself to America. No, Nat Turner. Nat Turner, you are from Nigeria. That DNA that you're refusing to take, we're going to find a way. We're going to trick you into taking it. It's easy. All we have to do is buy you bubble tea. Once you consume that bubble tea, when you throw away that straw, we'll take it and send in your DNA. And it's going to come back. We're going to see Nigeria, Ghana, somewhere. From that on, you're not going to escape this. We would find out you are a true Akata and you are going to be taken to Nigeria. We know that's what you're trying to escape. You constantly come in here, shouting, oh, we the Indians, we FBA. We are onto you. The day that we get hold of that straw, game over. Guys, I want to thank all the people that donated and participated here. Let me thank you guys properly here. But before I do that, you guys know usually I play the pretendians for the Indians, the black Indians, but I would have to give the stanky leg to the fake African Hebrews.